On a Wednesday. We are a couple of minutes late, whatever. But we here. We got a lot to cover today. Today's going to be an action-packed show. Coop, how you doing, sir?
Great, man. How are you?
I'm great, man. It's always great when we got new music to talk about. And you know what? We got some revisionist music that came out I don't say a few months ago, but a few weeks back that we haven't covered. And the thing is, man, music just comes so fast that we kind of have to just cover it as it comes. Hold on one second. Are we on? All right. I want to make sure that we on because I know we did some other switching around. We are on YouTube, right? Let me make sure
No, no,
that
no. We're on. I got the notification.
you got the notification. Cool. What's up to everybody coming in the room? I see TJ said, "What's good, fellas?" Nas Go said, "Peace, King." Listen, man, we got a lot to talk about today. First off, man, my Twitter mentions was going off and
Really?
everything because people thought that Jay-Z was addressing Coop and myself in his verse from Pusha T's new song "Neck and Wrist." We're gonna get to that, and we're gonna talk about Neck and Wrist, and we're gonna talk about the Grammys, Nas' performance at the Grammys. But um, on the new music wave, man, I want to talk about Earth Gang, man, because we skipped over that project that came out in February, and everybody's been blowing me up talking about, man, y'all got to talk about that Earth Gang album, Ghetto Gods. I was like,
So,
so I gave it a
before,
listen, and I was like, yo, Coop, you gotta hear this.
right. And my feelings are saying before we go any further with the Earth Gang, just to let people know, here are albums that I'm about to listen to in the next 7 days before we have next Wednesday's podcast. I've
Mm-hmm.
downloaded Onyx's 1993. I've already heard Fife Dog Forever once, but it was kind of broken up. So I need to go again. Lil Durk dropped 7220 Reloaded.
Okay.
Deontay Hitchcock released a 4-song EP every day the 14th. I'm gonna go listen to the Chains Don't Sell Itself Again.
Okay.
Earl Sweatshirt dropped a project around the same time as Earth Gang called Sick. You need to check that out. And so that's what's in the queue.
Well, I
Yeah.
love that we have a whole lot of music to get to because that's much better than us not having any at all. Hold on, man. I just messed up something on the live, guys. Hold on one second. Damn it. Because we're going to do that mock versus too.
I'm about to say
And
that'll
I
give you
think
more
that I
time.
have just revealed some of it for the people that are paying attention. Because I forgot to put that Nas image up, for that Grammy performance. So I wanted to make sure we get to that too. And that's not working out. So we're just going to go on to the show. But we're just going to talk about it. All right. Earth Gang, Ghetto Gods. So yeah,
Mm,
I was put up on this record. Shout out to DJ Paperboy. He was like, listen, man, y'all ain't talking about Earth Gang because we was talking about Dreamville last week. And he was like,
mhm.
nah, the Dreamville mixtape is cool. But you got to check out that Earth Gang album. And so I
Right,
checked it out and really, really gave it a listen.
right.
Man, listen,
Yeah.
I don't want to overreact. And I never want to overreact. And I did this when the Tyler album came out. I hit Coop up like, yo, this is fire. And I did the same thing with this. And I think that this is possibly album of the year.
Uh,
So far, I mean, because so far, what album of the year we had Benny in the running for it. Ghetto Gods is better than Benny's album.
I mean, I think things have kind of tapered off. So if we can kind of, I'm pretty certain. I mean, here's the thing. So Currency's album with Alchemist Continuance.
Okay.
Benny's album with Alchemist, Tana Talk 4. Conway's album, God Don't Make Mistakes. I think those three albums probably stood out the most this year so far. When did that Saba drop? Did that Saba drop technically last year, or was that
No, that
earlier?
was this year. That was this year.
So I
Shout
think
out to
that's
Nas the Goat for the super chat. He said Neck and Wrist was trash. Earth Gang album is phenomenal. Nas' performance was some mid, and Lupe 100 Chicago's in amazing. 100 Chicago. We're gonna get to all of those things, and y'all might want to choose your words carefully because Jay-Z's definitely watching the show. Either that or Leroy Green. I think Leroy Green is, whoever Leroy Green really is converting these messages to Jay. But we're gonna talk about Neck and Wrist, and I don't think it was submit. I actually like the song. I think the verses and the we'll get all that. Go ahead.
Where was I?
I think you were talking about Ghetto Gods, right? No, you were talking about the albums that have come out so far. You said Currency and Alchemist, all the stuff that's in the album of the year running.
Yeah, so those would be the three albums that stick out. Then the Saba kind of comes to mind, and the Gunna comes to mind, and that would kind of round out the top 5 of the year so far for me. I'm gonna slide Benny's album down a little bit more too, because like you and I said, I told you I rated it that high because I wanted to have the ability to slide it down instead of sliding it up.
Yeah.
So unlike replay value and how it was gonna hold, how is it holding? Like it's not holding as well as we maybe would have hoped. So I'm probably going to slide it down, which kind of would put it in the range of Currency and Conway's album. And this album's better than that. Earth Gang's album is better than all of those albums, in my opinion, too. So
I think what Earth Gang showed me with this project is the fact that, I know a lot of people are coming out with lots of material at a really rapid pace. I think this showed that you can really take your time with an effort and come out within the confines of, the pace that people come out with and have an enormous amount of content. What I mean, like, as far as depth to your music, musicality, lyricism, that's easier to do in a group. Honestly, ask Andre 3000. It's easier to do in a group, but it's still a phenomenal feat. And this era to make an album that is this conceptualized, for lack of a better term. Very impressive effort. It's it kind of puts me in a musically, I would say, and I don't like comparing people to other people, but musically on some Outkast, Organized Noise type of foundation musically, and with the chords and the choruses and things of that nature, subject matter as well. Flow-wise and delivery-wise, more of a field mob type of thing. And came together to be very, very dope.
I'm gonna extend off of that a little bit more, Mike, and tell you that my thought after listening to the album the first time was actually, what are these guys 20 years ago to be the link in the chain between the Dungeon family and the new Atlanta that we were about to hear? Because what I heard and what makes this record so beautiful to me is that I hear old Atlanta and the new Atlanta meshed wonderfully. And the transition that happened down here musically, that was not a smooth transition. This group would have been the smooth transition of that, because you can hear the Organized Noise, Outkast, PA, Goody influence, but you can hear the Field Mob, the Future.
Yep. The Future's on there. And I think they did a really good job of meshing, like you said, meshing all of those worlds together. Hey, they have records that could be played anywhere. The versatility of the album is really impressive. Shout out to Blue Collar Hustle with the super chat. He says, if you think Nas' performance was some mid, then find God. But yeah, the versatility on this album was extremely impressive. JID is continuously growing as an individual. I was listening to Stick from the Dreamville mixtape, and I'm like, this is what Kendrick used to do.
He's
Did Cole find him a new Kendrick out here? Cole got a roster, man.
He's a problem.
Cole got a roster.
Yeah, he is a problem.
Yeah.
Problem. Like, how about this? JID is performing at a level of what we're hearing right now. It's like, oh, well, Cole needs to be performing at that top 3 level that I said he was performing at, the way that kid's rapping. You know what I mean? Like,
well, he's reinvigorated because he has that around him. You know what I'm saying? He has like that, I don't want to say young energy, but just, that new energy around him, and some hungry MCs and hungry artists who are inspiring. I mean, you got to hear what Earth Gang is doing and while they're creating and be inspired. I you know what? I wish that, and I know we hold J. Cole high for not doing features, at least some of his fans do, because I honestly don't. I think that's overblown. I wish he worked more with his crew on his efforts, because his crew is phenomenal.
So I don't want to throw any shade, because he's having a moment. Like the Earth Gang project is great. Cole is still overall having a moment. Showed his ass on this album as well. that verse along with CeeLo's verse, those are verse of the year contenders already. Okay?
Straight up.
So, straight up. So, what I would submit though, can we get his project this diversified with him spitting the way we've been hearing him spit the last year and a half? Like, can we get a project diversified like this from him, with him spitting at the level that he's spitting at? Because that's really the only thing that's missing.
You know what? Well, I mean, we've always said this on this podcast, I believe, and I've heard this in other podcasts, I believe, or other publications, but hip hop classic albums, they're a team effort. And even if you look at Akumanai and the way that Akumanai was put together, that was a team effort. That was a Dungeon Family collective. Clearly, it was an Outkast album, but that was a Dungeon Family collective effort. Same thing with Supreme Clientele. That was a Wu-Tang collective effort. Sure, Ghostface was the star of it, but that was a collective effort. We could say the same thing about Good Kid, Mad City to a degree. All hands was on deck, all eyes on me type of thing, yada yada, etc. I think that if J. Cole were to utilize his crew in those ways, we would get that kind of output that you are expecting. Because if you got a group like Earth Gang that's making a project like this, and you got somebody like JID who, you know, his projects have been pretty dope too. Boz, you got, you know, Ari Lennox. These people know music, and they know it very well, and they can execute very well. So, I mean, I think that what we're expecting from J. Cole and his ability to collaborate at this level, we're expecting I don't want to say a collaborative effort, but all hands on deck with the talented people we have around him for his individual effort, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean?
No. And so what I would say is that when he raps like this, okay, so his best album doesn't rank high enough in the canon for what he is displaying talent-wise. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And I just want an album that's reflective of that, because I want you, and listen to what I'm saying. Like, oh, he's rapping beyond like Forest Hills, like the last couple of years.
Oh, straight up.
He's like he's beyond that guy, and it's like, well, I want to hear the project that's reflective of that, because where is Forest Hills? Where would Forest Hills rank all time as a rap album? That's his best album, right?
Yeah.
So that's not a top 25 rap album, though, is it?
No, it's not. And I think that easily the way he's rhyming and the way that I'm hearing music from his crew and all that, he can easily surpass Forest Hill Drive. It's not one of those, yeah, that's an untouchable effort. I think right. Kendrick is more in that lane of, I think we've heard the best from Kendrick. And not to get on him. But Blue Collar Hustle with another super chat. He said, it's insane that Dreamville has snatched the crew crown from TDE so thoroughly. They have overshadowed every other crew so much. It's worthy of a Coop rant. I mean, they have. And they've done it through consistency and work.
They've been steady at it, you know? And I mean, to piggyback off what Royce was talking about, it's like, you know, executive-wise, look at how J. Cole's artists are succeeding and thriving on a multitude of levels. It's like, what you want? You want a mixtape? You want an album? You want some singing? You want some bars? Like, what you want? He got them ready to go.
Billy Barr says that J. Cole's verse on Johnny P's Caddy is verse of the year. You know, and with that being said, with the right effort in place, and not to take anything away from Earth Gang and what they just did with this album, because again, I think it's in the clear for album of the year for me. This is a wide open lane for J. Cole to basically take this MC of the Year thing for 2022. He has a really good chance. He's starting out the gate very well. I'll put it that way.
There are two guys lurking in the shadows.
Well, people saying Griselda still got it when it comes to crew.
I mean, they got Benny and Conway, and I mean, okay, so let's so let's go ahead and parse this down a little bit. So, is Stove part of Griselda now?
I would say Stove is.
So you got Stove, Benny, Conway, Love, Jay Skis, Armani.
Armani, yeah. That's tough.
Flea.
Yeah, that's tough. But like I said, Earth Gang just made this thing interesting if we want to talk about projects.
38 speech. Now, and that's where they made it interesting because this
Mm-hmm.
project, man, this
Because if we
project was
talk
put
about
together.
individual MCs, yeah, you can say Griselda or whatever, and they put out a whole lot of stuff. Because, like you said, you just mentioned, yeah, you mentioned a lot of guys that put out a lot of work.
Right. Well, I mean, here's where Griselda has it. It's like, well, who has Conway, Benny, and Stove? Like, who's third person is Stove?
Darnell Lee with the super chat, he says Cole needs Quincy Jones and Hit Boy to make a classic. Go through 900 songs to find the perfect 10 like MJ. That's asking for a whole lot.
That's disrespectful a little bit too. It's not
That's asking for a whole lot. Let's get back to Ghetto Gods because we got a lot to get into today, man.
right.
What were some of your favorite songs on this album?
That was one of the beautiful things about it, Mike. I had to listen to it over and over again, and I still couldn't decide like what I preferred. That was the best part about listening to the project. I was going to ask you what your favorites were because I was having trouble deciding.
Well, when I was listening to it today, I kind of had that Armani Caesar feeling where it was like I was listening to the album, and next thing I knew, it was over, and I was like, I'm at the end already. Did something skip? It's just that good. It flows very well together, and I think that's another thing that we're missing in, the current streaming era of music. People aren't putting together projects with that type of mentality, like I want this thing to flow together like that, and I haven't heard that in a minute, and this one really flows together extremely well. Off top, though,
yeah,
I would say Power. I would also say the song before was an American Horror Story. Yeah. Yeah, but see, I still like some of the bangers too.
Like I was about to say, I like Water Boys, I like Black Pearls, but the records that you named, American Horror Story, Power, that's what I mean. It's like, well, there's a little bit of something, everything on here.
Yeah, it's something for everybody on here, and it flows so well. Nothing sounds forced. Yeah, nothing sounds forced or out of place. It all flows.
And what's crazy about it not sounding forced, that's what I mean. It's like, well, what do you want them to do? Because they're doing a little bit of everything.
All right, now one thing I will say, if there is a critique, and it is what it is, I think that some of the stuff that their approach could be regional, and so maybe not a lot of people are maybe there might be a segment that aren't feeling the way we're feeling about the project. And again, I might be a little bit biased because, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, so I get it. I understand everything they're saying. I understand the slang, the approach, all of that. The sentiment, so maybe I'm holding it higher than others may. But that's the only thing I could say. I think they maxed out on this one. I'm going 4.5 on this.
So am I. I mean, I was actually thinking going a little bit higher because...
Yeah. I mean, this is the one thing, too, I will say, as far as like going higher. I hear dope lyricism. I don't hear elite lyricism. If that... Yeah, because again, if we want to compare, and I hate doing this, but it's like Outkast or Cool Minaj, if we want to talk about putting together something to a grandiose level, Andre 3000's lyricism on there was elite. Big Boy's lyricism on there was elite. So I don't know if there were quotables like that. It was dope lyricism. I'm not, saying that it wasn't, but I don't know if it was elite lyricism.
Okay, what they are is more versatile dope than lyrically dope. Okay.
Yeah.
They're versatile. Their versatility is a lot of their dopeness as MCs. So I agree with you on that. But here was actually, and I'm glad you brought up Outkast, because what my takeaway also was that, well, if Outkast would have dropped this album, we would all be saying it's album of the year, and that's why it's the album of the year up to this point. Because if you were to tag another duo's name on this album right now that had more notoriety, we would be calling it album of the year. Like
shout out to Jar from Rap Roundtable. He's in the chat right now. He says Mike D is wildin'. 4.5 out of 5. Yeah, look, we're going to have Jarv on the show next Friday, and I know we got a whole lot to talk about because I heard y'all podcast and y'all were talking about the Biggie thing. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today since Jay-Z addressed that in the verse. but we stand on opposite sides of this. You know what? I was listening to Rap Roundtable's podcast earlier. Go check it out on YouTube. They were saying that Jay-Z's verse on this Neck and Wrist song is verse of the year type stuff. I disagree with that. I'm sure we're gonna debate that, next Friday because they were going crazy over it. It's a good verse, but verse of the year, I don't think it is better than the Cole verse from Johnny P's Caddy. I don't think it's better than the CeeLo verse from Power on this album.
We can unpack all of that. Here's what I will say. This is the first verse I think Jay has done since Ghost of Soldier Slim that really deserves to be unpacked and discussed. And so that too is noteworthy because it's him. And so we're going to unpack and talk about that too in relationship to how we feel about the verse. Yeah.
We're going to get to that song. But first, let's get to the Schoolboy Q song, Soccer Dad.
Hold on. So we're done. We're cool with the 4.5 though, right?
I'm cool with the 4.5. I mean, I'm sure people will let us know what they think about it. But, I mean, I think it's fair. Like I said, the only thing that would take them over to the next level is a little bit more elite lyricism and maybe a couple of songs cut here and there towards the end. I would have ended it with Power.
The ending is not as strong as the beginning and the middle for certain, but those songs are still dope too, Mike. Like even those songs end like still solid records. I mean,
we're judging them on the level of the other songs.
Like I'm about to say, there's some classic rap albums that have ended a little weaker than that.
Chronic 2001 is one of those albums where it's like, man, it should have been cut off at a certain point.
Yeah, could have.
J-Mar says that Mike and Coop probably haven't heard 100 Chicago's. I haven't heard it. I mean, it's so much music, man.
100 Chicago.
It's Lupe.
Who did what?
It's Lupe. Hold on, I'm looking down right now, guys. We're gonna be on it. Let's see, 100 Chicago's. Yeah, that came out April 1st. Yeah, we're going to check that out, and we definitely going to talk about that Friday at the most. And it must be crazy because people keep putting it in the chat. And Leo says, anyone heard the Lupe Fiasco song 100 Chicago's? Snap says, Lupe mad crazy on 100 Chicago's. Okay, so we're hearing what it is. I would play it live, but I don't want no copyright issues. Are you going to play it? All right, Coop's putting his headphones on right now. He's about to play 100 Chicago's. Terminator 2 says Mike D, Game versus Eminem. I'm glad you asked, and I'll talk about that.
Headphones down here, Mike.
What's that?
This is why I keep the backup headphones down here. I can't hear you because of noise cancellation.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna talk about this. Eminem and Game situation. Sounds like Game actually has a diss record for Eminem according to Whack 100. Whack 100 says that the Game's coming to Eminem and ready to step in that ring. I honestly think that is a good move by Game. I don't think that Eminem is a threat to Game on the mic to that degree where he should be afraid of that. And I think Eminem is probably not even going to respond to Game because Game is going to keep going and going. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that Game is actually going to have a record aimed at Eminem? And if he does, do you think Eminem's actually going to respond? Terminator 2 says, I can't wait, Mike D. Leo says, Coop is a G. He stay ready. Yes, we got to stay ready on this show, man, because there's so much music that comes out. And in the meantime, while we're actually doing the show, we can actually listen to the music. And you can see, Coop's face that Lupe is killing it. I wish I was the one that had the headphones right now. The real Leonard Washington says, peace, everybody. A2HH, y'all being mad late. Me late. Yes, we were a little bit late today. We said 4:30, but we got here at about 5:20-ish, so we could get the show together. So we're actually going to do this T.I. and Ludacris mock verses, too. That was one of the reasons why we were lagging a little bit behind, because I had to pick the 20 Ludacris records. Coop had the 20 T.I. records. We're going to go over that in a second, too. But for me, man, picking them Luda records was hard, knowing that I was going up against T.I. The Truest says, if Game put Britney Spears on the hook, Eminem will respond to the Britney part. I agree. I think if Game puts Mariah Carey on the record, the Eminem may respond to the Mariah Carey part. We're talking about the I'm gonna ask you about that song in a second, but we're talking about the Game putting out a diss record for Eminem. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I don't, but is it happening?
Well, that's
'Cause now,
what Whack 100 said. He said that it's called like the Black Slim Shady or something like that.
I mean, why is this happening? Is this
It's
for
probably
TV?
a marketing ploy, but the thing is, regardless if it is or not, let's just say it's for sport. The whole narrative is nobody wants it with Eminem, right?
Right.
So here it
Right, that's the
is.
narrative.
But see,
Here's
this is
what
the
we
thing
want
when
to
it
with
comes
it.
to M, man. If you come at him, you clout chasing. If you don't, you scared.
So is there a happy middle ground that Game has found that somebody hasn't, that we're unaware of?
I think that the middle ground is actually, I got respect for you as an MC, but I'm coming for it.
Yeah, come get these bars. Right.
Yeah, why not?
I mean,
So
it's
what,
healthy. It's rap. I mean, people don't understand that. Like, this is what rap's about. So even if you do feel like Eminem is on some certain perch, so to speak, people are supposed to be able to climb up there in this sport, and
that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the spirit of the sport. And let's not act like,
You seen Black Panther?
right. Let's not act like Game is just some rapper that doesn't have accomplishments in his career. I think he is he's somebody who's worthy to step it in.
So here's what I'm realizing too, and I realized it when I was digging through T.I.'s catalog for the Mike verses that we're about to do. I think T.I. in Game and Ross, even to a degree, they're not really getting the respect from the MC community that their catalog reflects. Mike,
You know what? I was doing some digging today too when I actually picked the Luda songs. And outside of this whole, you're following this thing with T.I. and the comedian and all that, right?
that's still going on.
It's kind of over, but whatever. But
I caught the start of it and then I faded.
outside of little things like that happen that give people a perspective on T.I. outside of the music, I think that the reason why T.I. isn't held as high as he should be. What was the last hit that T.I. had that you would say? Like, what was the last hit record before If It Ain't About the Money? Because I think If It Ain't About the Money with Young Thug, I think that was marginally successful, right?
Marginally.
Yeah, I think that did well, but that seemed like more of a Young Thug song than the T.I. song, right?
True, but that's a smash.
It was a smash in 2014. It's almost 10
Yeah.
years ago. So,
Right.
before
I mean,
that record, what was
that's
T.I.'s last hit?
Ooh, like hit.
Yeah. I mean, to the level that T.I. is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was about to say, yeah. Like, I mean, to that level, no.
I think that's why the Wayne and T.I. separation is what it is. I think before If It Ain't About the Money, it might have to go all the way back to 2008 with Paper Trail.
No, I mean, how do you feel about You Know What It Is in terms of how big it was?
I don't think that was a big record. Like
Okay,
that.
no. I'm just asking because I didn't like the record that much. But here, how about this?
I think
When
the
was-
last ones was like Why You Wanna and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Paper Trail.
Paper Trail had hits because Paper Trail had
yeah,
Swing Your
Paper Trail
Record.
had hits. I mean, not Why You Wanna, but you know what I'm talking about. Whatever you like. That's what I meant.
Whatever you like, live your life.
Live Your Life. I think those are the last string of
Like
T.I.
big
hits.
hits.
Yeah.
Like big hits, yeah. But this is what I'm saying. So, Mike, when is the last time Game and Ross had hits like that too? That's what I'm telling you.
I think that's fair. I think that Ross, his last run of hits, and he's been a part of some really good records, right? I think
He's been
that
part of a lot of great records.
that's what I'm saying. So it's like, and Game and Ross kind of have that going for them is the fact that they've been consistent with projects. So even if they didn't have like a smash hit, they had consistent projects. I think when T.I. crossed over to the point that he crossed over, it was about having big records. You know what I'm saying? And And his contemporary was Wayne, who was having big records and who kept going and kept putting out big records. So it kind of diminished
Okay, so
him
when you
moving
say that,
forward.
what are Wayne's big records after that?
Hold on, let me get to the super chat, and I'll answer that. The Combs 44, shout out to you with the big super chat. He says, the what if big address. The what if big address. If it's been time, then that's all you have to say, Jay. It's been this. Okay, I guess I'm trying to get what he said. I guess he's saying something about what's with addressing big after all this time. We're gonna get to that.
But the whole commission thing.
Yeah, the whole commission thing. He said, I mean, it's been all this time, and that's it. Sheesh. I think he's talking about Jay. Okay. All right.
Y'all get half a bar.
We only get half a bar. Okay, you said what were Wayne's hits? Wayne's been a part of so much with the Drake and Nicki splash. You know what I'm saying? And even you know what? I think the last Wayne level song that was a hit was probably Rich as Fuck with 2 Chainz.
What year is that?
Never talk to the cops. I don't speak. I had to be like 2013ish.
That's what I'm saying. So here's what's really happened.
Wayne's also done a much better job of being secluded and, keeping a rock star type of aura up. I think that's T.I.'s biggest issue. He doesn't keep his aura up.
So let's go to it. Let's just call it what it is. So of these 4 guys, hold on, we want to throw Jeezy in here too? Can we throw Jeezy in here briefly with these 4 guys?
Sure.
And that's kind of his era too?
Blue Collar Hustler says T.I.'s last hit was Blurred Lines 2013. I don't count Blurred Lines, but go ahead.
No, we just leave it right here just to streamline it.
Okay.
So a couple things have happened. One, Ross of these 4 guys, because of his swag, because of his aura, has become the statesman. And so his legend is mostly intact because a lot of his records, and Ross has probably made hit records later than all these guys, because I'm thinking of like some of his 2015, 2016, 2017 stuff. So Ross is probably the latest guy in here to actually make hit records. And he was actually probably considered to be the weakest MC of the bunch initially when they all probably first started.
Definitely.
But he's become the statesman. And by becoming the statesman, he's been part of a lot of great hit records, even when they're not his records, okay? Game has the catalog in the West Coast to rely on because the West Coast will support you. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Wayne is the guy that most people have seen has the best from this era. And the legend is wrapped around that. And he's been in seclusion a lot. And so the legend has kind of remained to the point that you kind of forget. It's like, hey, you know, this guy really hasn't made a hit in about 8 years, just like T.I., right? And you're absolutely right. Here's what's happened to T.I. Well, T.I. has just been out here the whole time. And most of it hasn't been related to music. And that's the problem. But if you actually go to his music,
exactly.
Mike, if you actually go to the music, Mike, he got a 20 and another 20 just like Ross do, just like
But
Game,
it's crazy. Not to interrupt you, but what's crazy about that, and you're right, T.I. has been on the music when, people are acting like he's not. You listen to T.I. currently, and even if you listen to Libra Scale, he's rapping better. At some points, he's rapping better than he ever has.
He still sounds... Mike, one of the most slept on projects, I feel like this ever even came out the South at this point is The Nick by T.I.
Yeah.
Every song on The Nick is a banger. It's just not to the hit level anymore.
I'm still trying to figure out. I'm still trying to figure out why he's underappreciated. And again, when we got somebody like Ludacris, and I went through Ludacris's catalog, I mean, Ludacris is still held very high. I think his aura or quote unquote legacy has held up even better than Tip's, right?
It has, and I can't even lie. Part of the songs that I chose,
Uproar was a hit. That was the one I was thinking about saying. Yeah, Wayne, Uproar, when he did the Special Delivery remake.
Was that a hit?
That was on Carter 5. Yeah, the song was everywhere. I'll say that.
Okay, no. I mean, I'm asking questions.
Because I remember, man, when I put out the news that the Carter 5 was coming out on our website, it broke the website. It's crazy, man. Like, the traffic was going so crazy. I had to go call GoDaddy and up the server.
No, and I understand all of that, but what I'm saying is I went through the music today,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean I got the 30 Ti records that like are known quickly.
Man, I'm interested to see how this is gonna go.
Like Mike, listen to what I'm saying. Quickly, you know how about this? Everybody else that you can pull records from that's quickly, they're all walking legends who get their flowers. Like
Yeah.
when he's talking about like, no, you can put me next to Kanye or next to Wayne or next
He's
to
earned
Jay,
that.
next to Pusha.
He's
Like,
earned that.
no, you can go look at the records and it's like, yes, you can't. The records are there. Mike, look at like when you see the records that I left off, like it's the records that I left off that got me where I was like, hold on, this dude got another 20 of records that like
Yeah. Johnson Daily Sports says Ludacris hasn't had a hit since 2005. You know, I was going through the catalog to pick records, and I was kind of seeing some of that. Man Nan says My Chick Bad was 2010. Spoiler alert, I didn't include that song. I don't know if I should have. You know, part of my selection, it was really hard for me before we reveal, you know what I'm saying, what we chose.
I'd say
It's
yeah.
understanding that I was going up against T.I. So some of those songs that were hits, like, I'm going to just say this. I didn't choose Runaway Love.
Right, you can play some of that if you want to.
I figured that if I play Runaway Love against T.I., that's an automatic loss.
And you're right, and that's one of the things that's striking about T.I.'s hits is that T.I. is very like Biggie was very great at talking cash shit on singles. Like T.I. is very much like the same.
Yeah.
Like he talks a lot of cash shit on big singles. You know what he does. Yeah.
All right, so before we talk about this Pusha T and J record, let's talk about this Schoolboy Q record.
Yes.
Soccer Dad.
Yes.
You sent that to me, and man, a lot of music is coming out in the middle of the week, man. When you sent that to me and I played it, I'm like, man, this shit is hard. Listen, Schoolboy, I don't want to say he's a sleeper, but if he's coming out this year and the stuff sound like that, I'm looking forward to hearing new Schoolboy Q.
He's a problem, Mike. I mean,
yeah.
So
that's your guy, your favorite out of TDE.
Man, so when I heard this record, I think to myself, it's like, Kendrick's catalog isn't that much better than this guy's catalog, right? Like you know that, right? Like it's not that much better. Like this, no. Listen to what I'm saying. Like this guy's got Oxymoron, he's got Blank Face,
yeah,
he's got Crash Talk.
Yeah, I love Crash Talk. Crash Talk is slept on.
Southern influence in it.
I fuck with Crash Talk.
Yeah, because it's got a Southern influence to it. Q can rock anywhere. That's what I'm saying. Like how many West Coast dudes? I mean, now it's not that uncommon for a West Coast dude to go rock an album East Coast style. But how many West Coast guys have ever rocked the album Southern style like he did on Crash Talk?
I think sonically, man, Schoolboy Q fits with the times more than Kendrick even does.
I don't want to go that far. I just want to put some respect on his catalog because it's like he doesn't have like that all-time great classic stuff yet, but it's very Scarface like where it's like, well, he boom, boom, boom. When he come out, you know what he's gonna hit you with, and it's gonna be dope, and you're gonna enjoy it. And there's gonna be plenty of records, and he's gonna make some all-time great stuff that you can put on his greatest hits every time he comes out with something.
Yeah,
and so when
he's super consistent.
Like, there he go again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like there we go again. That's that man, Mama. That's that man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to some Schoolboy Q music because it seems like we're probably going to get Schoolboy Q in 2022. We ain't getting no Kendrick.
He blazed that second verse, Mike. He just lit that verse on fire like smoke.
Well, shout out to the artists that are putting out music, man. And I hope that picture that we saw in the studio, I hope that he has Ab-Soul and J-Rock on the album too, or whatever they're working on. I'm looking forward to hearing it, man.
So how about this? This is what I mean about the Q record. I just listened to the Lupe record, which is super dope, Mike. Lupe record is dope.
Yeah. Tell us about that record.
No, it's dope. Like, no. Like you can pull that up. Like Lupe's in his zone. He got about 3-4 different flows on there. lyrically, you want to know what he is on that record? He's in pocket, but he's not above you. Because part of his problem sometimes is he like to hover above you too much lyrically. You get what I'm saying? Like he's down on earth enough where you can see him and feel him. You
So
know
you
what I'm
think
saying?
Lupe is a 15 lyrically to a fault?
Yes. He's he's getting a 15.
Oh yeah,
He's getting 15. So
Lupe is one of the strongest lyricists. If we talk about just pure lyrics, is one of the strongest lyricists I've ever heard.
Like lyrically, how about this? Lyrically, he attempts to do things that like Nas never attempted to do, like ever even attempted, like lyrically. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, so when people be like, "Oh, Lupe's beyond Nas lyrically," it's like I don't totally agree, but I totally understand where it comes from when you say that, because he attempts different things as a creative lyricist. You know what I mean?
You never were impressed by Cannabis back in the day when Cannabis came out doing what he was doing, just washing everybody on records. But
no, see, that's the thing. No, I love DMX more because I was always worried about how that whole Cannabis thing was going to hold up on record.
I think Lupe is a more refined version of what Cannabis was when he came in doing that stuff.
Well, here's what I mean. Cannabis came in strictly like on some battle. I'm going to try to out-rap everybody who ever lived type stuff. I don't think that like Rakim necessarily ever did that per se, which is who he really got compared to because of his wordplay. I think he got compared to Rakim because of his wordplay and usage. His usage and wordplay is probably closest to Rakim's as anybody, including Nas, including Black Thought, like Cannabis is. But people have to understand, like, Rakim was always trying to explain something or evoke an emotion or get a full concept of something out to you. Cannabis was like one-track mind, and that just doesn't play well in an album when you rap like that. It's like how many stunning, dazzling raps that, rip your thorax? How many times are you going to rip our thorax? You know what I'm saying?
Who wants to ride around in the car listening to somebody talking about ripping their thorax? Like, I've always told people, like, what was it? Was it BC 2000, the second Cannabis album? Yeah, I used to love that shit. I'd ride around listening to Magnificent and things like that. But I knew if I had just other people in the car with me, they weren't gonna be vibing to that shit. That's just me as a lyricist nerd listening to that.
And I already told you how the personal ran in went, Mike. So it's like when he dropped the dud, I was like, "Dude, fuck that guy."
Oh my goodness.
He rolled on my homie, I don't care. Like,
Cannabis was really, he was very confident in his abilities at that time, and I remember even watching that Roundtable Cipher. What was that on Rap City? It was on one of them, but anyway, when he went last, he was like, the people at the table. For the people in the audience that don't know, it was Cannabis at the table. It was Mos Def at the table. It was Big Pun at the table. It was Mike Geronimo at the table, and it was DMX at the table. Yeah. And Cannabis says,
was Nori at the table? Nori might have been at the table too.
Was Nori at the table? I don't think he was. You might be thinking about that magazine cover. And so Cannabis is like, I'm going last. I earned that. I was like, whoa. But that just lets you know where he was at the time. And back then, a lot of those guys were doing records together. Like, Fantastic Four had him, Cam, Big Pun, and Nori. And every single time, Cannabis was going clean up. Cannabis was going last every time. He even went last over Redman. Over Beats from the East. Somebody said John Forte. Nah, that was Mike Geronimo that was at the table.
No, he's right. John Forte might have been
Was he there too? Okay. Been a minute since I've seen it. But yeah, and then he came with the anchor and, spit against LL and did that second round knockout verse. Huh. But yeah, that just lets you know where he was at the time. And I do think, too, that the arrogance of going at a superstar like LL Cool J for your first single, I don't know if that was a good move. I don't think it was. All right, let's get to the song.
Well, what I was going to say was that Schoolboy Q dropped the best song of the day, in my opinion. Soccer Dad's better than what I just heard from Lupe. Until further listen, I've only heard the Lupe once. But I'll take Soccer Dad over the Pusha T Jay record and over the Lupe record, and you know how I feel about Push. And give me the Schoolboy record as of today right now.
Okay, so you said Schoolboy Q's record is better than Neck and Wrist.
Yeah,
All right.
is.
So yesterday it was announced that Pusha T was putting out Neck and Wrist, the record with him featuring Jay-Z that is going to be on Pusha T's new album. And obviously the internet was going crazy because they've been talking about this Jay-Z feature on Pusha T's album, I want to say for the past 3 weeks. I think one of the notable parts is it was saying it was produced by Pharrell. I thought that was the part that I wasn't really expecting. And so when I heard that it was produced by Pharrell, I'm like, okay, well, my expectations aren't Drug Dealer Anonymous anymore. I'm thinking something else. And I'm not totally shocked by what I got. I like what I got. I like the song.
So it almost seems like, though, the purpose Pharrell played was to make sure that it wasn't Drug Dealers Anonymous. Like, that's what I was telling you behind the scenes. It's like, oh, well, this is where he's talking to Push about, oh, well, I don't want you to be a mixtape rapper.
Yeah.
This is that moment where it's like, oh, well, we got Jay on another record again. Is it just going to go by the wayside and end up on mixtapes a la Drug Dealers Anonymous? And so Pharrell is there to make sure that this song doesn't go that route. But what I would submit to you is that it doesn't go a better route necessarily.
I think what's off-putting about this song, because again, I think it's a good song. I like the song. Yeah. But we got like 2 of the top lyricists, period, ever, in Pusha T and obviously the incredible, iconic Jay-Z. And they're not really rapping on here. You know, the lyrics are there, but it's just kind of like, you can tell that, like you said, this is more for the radio, and this is going to be a single. So we're not going to go bar heavy like, Drug Dealers Anonymous.
Right, we're going visual aid on this one.
I do think that where Jay-Z took it and the things that he was talking about on here were very interesting. Some people on our Twitter, they pointed out that you and I had a discussion. I want to say it was when we were talking about the anniversary of Life After Death, the 25th anniversary of Life After Death. I'm not sure exactly what episode, but, shout out to, everybody that subscribes to this channel and follows us on Twitter and wherever you're hearing this podcast. But you guys picked the direct clip out where I asked about the notion that Jay wouldn't be where he is right now if Big were here. And he addressed that directly on this record. Let me go to the actual quote. And again, the part that makes this interesting, and I don't know who, I'm glad everybody's out here listening and enjoying these conversations, because these are conversations that are had in barbershops all the time. But this is a notion that's been out there for the past 20 years, if not more. And it's interesting that Jay, is addressing this now. But here's the quote in question. They like, if Big was alive, Hov wouldn't be in his position. If Big had survived, y'all would have got the commission. Hov was gonna always be Hov. It was the universe. Well, because Allah said so. And now I'm here. Listen, man, I will personally say, and I never said that I didn't think Jay would have made it. Big was not here. But I have said, and I always stand on this, the lane that Jay took on was a lane that Big made up. And so if Big did live, that lane that Jay was going to take on would have had to be different. And that's just what it is. I do think that a person with his skill set would have found a way to break through. But again, we're talking about an MC who was rumored to be about retired after the first album, right? These are facts, right? Like, these ain't stuff that we're just making up.
These are facts.
So we're not going to sit here and have revisionist history and try to change the narrative up. Reasonable Doubt was supposed to be his first and last album, right?
Well, that's because let's stop right there, and then we're going to move backwards a little bit. the rationale for thinking that way is that, well, when Reasonable Doubt came out, he was what, 26, 27 years old?
Right.
Most rappers are getting their deals when they're 17, 18, 19, and their careers are done by the time they're 26, 27. That's the way the rap climate used to move. So part of his wanting to be out, that hustler mentality of knowing it's like, oh, well, I'm about to be too old to kick this shit to these dudes anyway. Because that's usually how the game went. Now, big passing, left and opening. And I want to address all that in a minute. But I think there are also some things just fundamentally about this song that need to be addressed. And we need to talk about Pusha for a minute. Can we?
Go ahead.
Well, one thing that you'll see, and this is one of the reasons why I like Pusha T so much. How many guys are comfortable calling Jay and continually going first and leaving room for Jay to just think and talk? Like, how dope are you that you're comfortable enough to call Jay on a couple of occasions, or how many other records they got, and clearly, and this is what I mean, like, he's feeding Jay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you look at Jay on both times, he's playing off what Pusha's doing. He's like, oh, this is where you want me to take it? Okay, I got you. Let me come close this for you. How many guys are great enough that they don't mind leaving that out there like that? You know what I'm saying? Because this is still competitive sport. And so, like, Pusha's confidence is always there, and it shows in moments like this where he performs with a Titan like this because he don't mind continually going first and feeding. Because what you'll notice is that Jay's cadence is what? It's the cadence Pusha T kind of started off with. And they were probably, if they did this together, they were probably deconstructing or figuring out together how, like rhythmically, because like this is more to their vocal cords than this is to their lyricism. You know, they're musically trying to do something with their delivery, with their cadence, and with their voices more than they're trying to emphasize their lyricism.
I think they're trying to, yeah, I agree with you. I think they're trying to make a song more than, you know, trying to spit.
Yes. The musicality in what your voice can do as an MC, they're trying to let those things show necessarily more than the bars, because in both of their minds, their confidence is such, well, we got the bars covered. Let's try to do something exciting.
Well, I think that's Pharrell orchestrating, honestly. To be
yeah. I mean, yeah. You know, somebody got to be coaching from the side of the ball court.
And I think that he's the perfect person to coach the two of these MCs. This is the first song that the three of them have made together, right?
Which is crazy because he has special relationships with both of them.
Yeah. So it's a special moment in that light. Were you going to speak to the lane? Or do you want to get back to that, or you want to talk about...
So let's speak to the lane.
Okay.
When he talks about what we would have got is the commission, it's like, yeah, like you're right. Like we would have gotten the commission. This is what I mean about how he's such a great hustler. Like,
yeah,
we would have gotten the commission. It's like, yeah, let's talk about who you would have been in the commission.
Exactly.
Because you want to know who he would have been in the commission, Mike? He would have been Beanie Siegel. Right.
That's respectfully. You know what I'm saying? Because Beanie Siegel's great.
You know how I feel about Beans. Ain't nothing wrong with being Beans, but how's he gonna feel about being Beans? Because Beans is the type of dude that didn't mind being Beans. How you gonna feel being Beans? Because you were not walking into that group with any sort of totality of notoriety over that guy. Because nobody in rap at the time was, because Tupac was dead.
Well, even in that situation, right? Let's just say the commission comes after Life After Death. And again, all of this is just hypotheticals, but just let's follow our ears and everything that Biggie was able to accomplish on Life After Death sonically. Jay wasn't there. He wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if we listen to Volume 1, and as much as we love Volume 1, I don't even have any evidence that any of Volume 1 was recorded before Big died. Because Volume 1 came out November of 97, and we know how fast Jay puts out product or puts together records. It's not a far cry to say that he might not have had anything from Volume 1 recorded when Biggie passed. Maybe one or two songs, who knows? But the only full length that we have when it comes to what he was able to do when Big was alive was Reasonable Doubt, which is a great effort, but it's not what Big was doing on Life After Death, the versatility, and it's not what Jay ended up doing to reach the level that he reached.
So let's stop for a second. And this is what I mean. So let's talk about the level that Big reached right quick. And this is what I mean about the revisionist history of it and why I'm saying, well, will you be Benny Siegel in this? It's like, Mike, since Big's been gone, has Jay made any hits that you think are better than Big's 5 best hits that Big dropped before he died? 5, Mike. I can name you 5 Biggie records before Big left this earth, and Jay is yet to top those records in terms of stature, quality, or hit making.
What records are you speaking on? Because the first one that comes to mind is One More Chance remix.
Well, that's easy, Mike. But I mean, Mike, really, to be truthful, has he made a hit record better than Juicy? Has he made a hit record better than More Money, More Problems? Better than Hypnotized? Where are the records that are better than these records? Like better.
I'm not a big fan of More Money, More Problems and Hypnotized like that. But I understand where you're coming from.
Mike, B.I.G., P.O., P.P.A., No Info. Mike, you can play that shit in the club right now. Everybody shouts it.
What about Get Money?
What
about Get Money?
No, Mike, that's what I'm saying. Where do you want to go with it? Like, how many of them? You got like 10 or 12 of them, in my opinion, that's better than like Jay's best hit record, in my opinion. And so when he's talking about this lane that he filled, it's like, well, yeah, you filled the lane best, but like, don't think that there's not a gap between you and the guy whose lane got filled. Because I told you, I love Volume 1, and it got nothing to do with no hits, Mike. The hits are the worst part of the album. I told you, take those 4 records off. Like, take those 3 singles off and Lucky Me off, and you have something that's actually, like, lyrically better than Reasonable Doubt.
Ray Reynolds with the super chat, he said, I've heard various versions, but I'm going to ask the experts. Was the commission supposed to be comprised of Biggie, Jay-Z, Big L, and Cameron?
No, I believe Charlie Baltimore was supposed to be part of the commission. Correct me if I'm wrong?
Yes. I don't know about Big L.
So I always thought that it was like Big J, Charlie Baltimore, and like I didn't know where like Cameron, because Cam was around at the time. I think people forget that.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat, let us know who was supposed to be in the commission. I'm sure everybody's gonna have some of their own variations, and we'll see. Because I know Jay-Z watched the show. I know Leroy Green's actually in the chat right now, so somebody with some inside information, let us know specifically who was in the commission.
How does What's Beef start off? The Commission, Uncle Paulie, King Diddy, Cesareo De Janeiro, Charlie Baltimore, Iceberg Slim, that's Jay. Yeah. Iceberg Slim, that's Jay. So Charlie Baltimore. So Lil C's, Iceberg Slim is Jay, Charlie Baltimore. The Most Shady, Frankie Baby, we know who that is. So it sounds like, so that we know of from what Big is saying on record, we got Big, C's, Charlie Baltimore, Ho.
Yeah.
And who's Uncle Paulie? That's P. Diddy. I guess he's calling P. Diddy Uncle Paulie. Because that's how the beat starts off. Uncle Paulie, P. Diddy. That would make sense. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that was supposed to, so Diddy was going to, I guess, manage the group. And it was going to be those 4. I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well.
Just going off the intro to What's Beef.
Yeah, I could see that. But yeah, I've never heard the Big L thing. And with Big L being a part of Columbia, and I don't know, I just don't see that. I think that we kind of attach that narrative that, Jay-Z was going to sign Big L supposedly before he was murdered, and the whole, Stretch Armstrong freestyle back in the day, because we kind of connect them together. But yeah, I don't think that Big L was supposed to be in the commission. I've never heard that.
Yeah, I've never heard that either.
There's more. 88 Gray says Frank White, Iceberg Slim, Charlie Baltimore, and Puff.
Okay.
Listen, I wasn't a huge fan of Hypnotized like that, or More Money, More Problems, and that way I do think Jay-Z has stronger singles than those. But I'm with you when it comes to Juicy and One More Chance remix.
Let's stop for a second.
Maybe even Big Papa to a degree, Get Money.
Hold on, I want to stop for a second. What song is Jay taking on where he's better than Big is on Hypnotized? Like where?
You don't think Give It To Me?
No. He's literally starting off the song borrowing some of Biggie's bars. How can you say that? How can you say that? And how about this? And no bars on that song, and nothing on there is as charismatic as Big is on the 3rd verse of Hypnotized.
What about the Rock Boys?
No, Mike, I know you sick of this lame brand nigga with flows. Girls say he's sweet like licorice. So get with this, nigga. It's easy. Girlfriend, here's a pen. Call me round 10. Come through. Have sex on rugs this Persian. Come up to your job, hit you while you're working for certain. Papa freaking, not speaking. Leave that ass leaking like rapper demos. Stop
Leroy's
that.
going crazy in the chat. He says,
Somebody
"Oh,
asked
no
Leroy.
church in the wild." I mean, Jay got singles, man, where he's spitting. I will say that. But this is what I will say about Jay. My favorite Jay records are the ones that, weren't singles. And I see You Don't Know, because the Black Line says You Don't Know is Smoking Hypnotized, but You Don't Know is not really a single.
That's why I said single, because we're talking about the lane. Y'all keep talking about these records. First of all, if you want to start playing Biggie Street records to Jay Street records, good luck.
Hard Knock Life.
Mike, Hard Knock Life's not better. This is exactly what I'm trying to tell you.
Hard Knock Life. No, you know what? Let's go down the line. We're talking about singles, right? So we're going to start at volume 1. The Streets Is Mine. Who You With? Sunshine. Those are the singles on volume 1.
No. Let's start with no. Man, Biggie got so many hits in such a short amount of time. That's fine. Let's go down to Jay singles. That's right.
Yeah, let's go down to Jay singles. I think that's fair. So we'll do Sunshine. City is Mine.
Mixed.
Who You With?
Get all that made out. Get all that out.
Okay, and then on volume 2, we got Hard Knock Life, right?
So hold on. So let's stop for a second. Any of y'all do anybody think that Nigga What Nigga Who, Money Cash Hoes, or Hard Knock Life's better than Hypnotize and More Money More Problems? Like, who thinks that? Who out here thinks that?
Kenneth Palmer with the super chat says that Nas claims on the documentary that Big and himself was also gonna make a super group. Have you heard that? Was that the commission as well?
No, there was a night where Nas and Big freestyled together all night, and there was a night I think they were supposed to have a recording session the night Give Me the Loot got made.
Mm-hmm.
So I've heard about a couple of ciphers that they've had where them two were just rapping back and forth and talking about doing stuff, but I've never heard about actual group stuff. But I mean, Nas even kind of addressed that, like on Last Real Nigga Live. Like, Puff used to come through Queensbridge projects. He let me drive it before, so he was kicking it with them. So I'm like, that's how kind of like the circuit worked. Like, he was cool with Method Man.
Well, Nas was the guy.
Huh?
He was the guy. He was
right.
The best new rapper coming up, man. So everybody was trying to
everybody wanted,
cool.
Right. Everybody wanted, right.
Billy Barr says that I'm not a writer, I'm a biter. Okay, so we're on volume 2 now, right? So the singles there, you got Hard Knock Life. Right. You got Money Cash Hoes. Money Ain't a Thing. Nigga What, Nigga Who, and you got song with Ja Rule in the Mill.
Can I Get It?
Can I Get It?
So let's look at these
I don't
records.
think any of those surpassed any of those Biggie songs we were talking about.
No, they didn't, Mike. But what I'm trying to keep telling you,
on a classic meter. Like, I personally like Nigga What, Nigga Who more than I like Hypnotize and Money More Problems, but I can't say on an all-time level.
Right. How about this? I personally may like some of the stuff Jay is saying on Nigga What, Nigga Who, the last couple verses, more than I may want to hear Hypnotize, but it's not a better record, and it hasn't held up over time better.
Someone said Who You With beats Hypnotize. I never been a big fan of Who You With.
I love Who You With, but you're tripping.
Okay, and so volume 3, the singles there were Do It Again, Big Pimpin'.
Yeah.
Right?
Things That You Do, Mariah Carey.
That was a single? I guess I'm thinking about songs that had videos to them.
No, those were the only 2 that had videos.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. So
okay.
No.
And then to the Dynasty, you got Give It To Me.
We just went through that whole thing.
And then you got...
How that song start off again? How his biggest hit single start off again?
When the Remy's in the System.
It's some shit from Life After Death. That's how his biggest hit single starts.
And then after that, you got the R. Kelly joint, Jigga Kelly Not Guilty. Was there another single that I'm missing from the Dynasty? Because all of this is off the top,
Guilty to Proven Innocent. No, those were the 2. You're right.
Okay, all right. And so then you go to the Blueprint. The singles there are Izzo, Girls, 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 and Song Cry. Mm-hmm. Great songs. But I don't know, like, on an all-time meter
Right.
if it hits that.
So,
The Blueprint 2, you got Excuse Me Miss, Bonnie and Clyde, '03 or '02. Sorry.
can we just stop right here and spare him? Where we going? We're going to change clothes? Let's go to
Then we're
change
gonna
clothes.
go to Change Clothes, 99 Problems.
I personally probably enjoy 99 Problems more than Hypnotized, but what's the more classic record, Mike? What record gets played more? What's actually the better record? That's why I keep on saying it's like he didn't pass him at any point when he filled the lane. So when he speaks about how he's filled the lane so admirably, it's like, no, like that dude left and you never made a song bigger. Not one.
Dirt Off Your Shoulders is also a single on there.
I love it. How is it held up in relationship to Hypnotize and More Money, More Problems? Listen to the records that we talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
And like I said, I don't even really love More Money, More Problems and Hypnotize like that. Now, if we're talking about Juicy and One More Chance, it ain't even close.
How about this? Let's not disrespect Jay and compare his records to Juicy, One More Chance. And you get what I'm saying? Because it's like we're not even close to that shit. Like, let's not even do that. Let's keep it like at Hypnotize and More Money, More Problems.
TJ with the super chat, shout out to you. He says Cameron got a 7-minute compilation, Getting in Jay, where he stole a whole bunch of lyrics from other artists. Look it up on YouTube. It's all facts. And that's one thing. But I will say this: there's a lot of people that took a lot of bars from Jay too. So, but it is what it is. I think this is the thing. Jay has this incredible memory, and he can hear something one time and regurgitate it right back at you. And I think that a lot of that stuff that he was quote unquote taking, he was just flexing that skill that he has in that way. But if you do that enough, it's nearly impossible for you to surpass the person that you keep doing that from.
Right.
And that's the difference between him and Nas in that way, because Nas never had to do that.
No, I mean, he's taken a couple bars from Rakim. Nas took a couple bars from Rakim.
Yeah.
But they were also like the type of bars that you had to go dig and find out. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? It's like it wasn't when the Remy's in the system. Like when you heard when the Remy's in the system on Give It To Me, it's like
Mike, oh, here we go.
We all knew where it came from. Mike, when I heard Face Off, this goes out to my Brooklyn crew. I'm like, wasn't that what Big was saying at the beginning of the Nasty Boy? I'm like, wasn't that Big at the beginning?
Just a couple months ago.
It was all good just a week ago, Mike.
Shout out to Sister 30 with the super chat. He said Busta Rhymes was also a part of the commission. Never heard that.
Hold on. You want to know what?
Could be true. I've never heard it, though.
How does Big 3 start off?
Big 3.
No. Big 3. How's Biggie versus the commission? You asked for permission to hit him?
It does start off that way.
Yeah, and Busta Rhymes is right there, right?
Yeah. Busta Rhymes is giving the hook that only Busta can give.
That was the last verse, right? That's one of the best hooks ever, too.
It is. It's fucking incredible, man. It's fucking incredible. Okay, so
it's a movie. He made it a movie. Busta made it a movie.
He did.
Busta made it a movie. Yeah.
The character, the voice, the inflection. Okay, so now we're on Kingdom Come because I don't want to slight anything, right? So we got the Show Me What You Got.
Lost Ones.
You got Lost Ones. What's the other single on Kingdom Come?
You got 3 singles out of that?
I don't think so.
Right, next.
Then you got American Gangster, which I love.
I love Rock Boys.
One of my favorite singles from it.
I Know, too, because I believe they released I Know as a single, even though I don't know if they caught a video.
Yeah, they got a video for that.
Oh, really? I've never seen that video to this day.
I feel like they have a video for it.
That's one of my favorite J records, actually.
Blue Magic. I love that video.
I do not like Blue Magic.
I like Blue Magic.
I don't.
Okay. So, yeah, none of those are those big records.
But once again, Mike, listen to the songs that you're talking about while I'm talking about Hypnotize and More Money, More Problems.
And somebody just mentioned Gin and Juice in the chat. Yeah, those are monster records.
Those are the type of records Biggie was making when he died. How's that been going for Jay since Big's been gone? Because that's the lane that he fit.
I mean, we want to talk this lane conversation.
Right, no.
The Blueprint 3.
He want to talk this lane conversation like he's been disrespected. You haven't been disrespected. You're getting rated accurately by people you're not paying.
Well, this is the thing, man. It's like, I thought that Jay was on board with the notion that he was picking up where Big left off. Now that's a problem?
No,
And
Like,
no,
hey,
like I said, no one's saying that Jay wouldn't be who he is if Big lived. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? They both MCs, they both are competitive, but like you said, if we did get the commission, Big was the draw here. This wasn't even a LeBron Dwayne Wade situation.
no, it was not that.
It wasn't.
Not that.
And I say that respectfully. This is more of
Beanie Siegel, gold rapper. He was a gold rapper when Life After Death got made.
Big was the draw.
Big was a draw. Ready
It
to
is
die.
what it is.
1.5. One more chance. Platinum single.
Now, this is what I will say.
Junior Mafia platinum. I think maybe double platinum Junior Mafia was. Big is literally making platinum and gold singles every time he's touching the mic, literally.
This is what I will say though. I think that Jay is talented enough, or always has been talented enough and smart enough where he would have found his lane, but the lane would have just been different.
No, Mike, he did find the lane. That's the guy. That's what I'm talking about. That's why, Mike, I love 97 Hope. There's nothing wrong with that lane. The guy that's making You Must Love Me, and Where I'm From, and Streets is Watching, and Imaginary Player.
Yeah.
And Rhyme No More, and A Million and One. There's and Friender 498. There ain't nothing wrong with that guy.
No.
There's nothing wrong with that guy.
But you know, let's be honest though. Let's be totally honest, Coop.
No,
that guy. No. Let's be honest. That guy's not getting in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with those records.
Mike, I don't know about that because that guy.
Nas ain't in it.
No. That guy, 97 Hove. 97 Hove right now, if he pops back up, is literally better than everybody else except for this version of Nas.
No, I'm not talking about better. I'm talking about notoriety. I'm talking about.
No. I get
that's what I'm talking about. The skills are always there, and that's why he will even admit Reasonable Doubt is still his best album, and it was the least numerically successful. You know what I'm saying? It's not about that. We know his skills are there, but we're talking about the crossover success and what led to those things, and that wide open lane. I mean, it helped that part of it. Like you said, Big was going gold and platinum every time he spit on the mic, effortlessly.
Pretty much, if he spit on the mic, everything he pretty much put down from the time he died, if it got released, it went gold or platinum. Like as a single, like the albums were going gold and platinum too. But like the singles were going gold and platinum.
And I can see how that sounds like a slight, but the thing is,
it ain't no slight. Big was about to be the greatest MC of all time had he lived. You were in the room with the greatest MC of all time. Had Big lived, Big was going to be number one.
I think so. But you have people like Nas who were already in their stride and making some of the best material of their career while Big was here. Nas had his lane already.
Right. So that's why, Mike, when I tell people I have Jay-Z as the 5th greatest MC of all time, well, that's why. Because I watched that happen, and I am very clear that when Tupac was here, and Biggie was here, and Nas and Jay were both outside, Biggie and Pac didn't look at Jay like he was the problem. They looked at Nas like he was the problem because he was, and that holds, and that held when Jay made his best album. Jay made his best album while they were alive, and their thought was, need to worry about this nigga Nas. And so when I have him 5th, I have him 5th because of that. Objectively, if you want to just go objectively, it's Nas number 1, Jay-Z number 2. But on my list, he's number 5 because I'm not putting you ahead of Pac and Big and Nas, ever. Because when all of y'all was outside making y'all best material, you were 4th.
CJ Duncan says Big Pimpin' is far better than More Money, More Problems. I'm not mad at that assessment on a personal level, but is it more classic?
That's what I keep trying to tell you.
And even if it is, let's just say it is. Put that up against One More Chance remix, and then put that up against Juicy.
Put it up against Big Papa, Mike. You can put it up against Big Papa. You can put it up against Good Money, Get Money.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest, man. Get Money and Big Papa.
For God's sake, like it ain't like that. That's what I'm saying. That's why I be trying to tell people. It's like these J records that y'all are saying that are classic hit records. They were hits when they came out. Biggie shit. It was a hit when it came out, a hit 10 years later. It's a hit now, Mike. You might randomly hear More Money, More Problems on a mix on the radio.
Big Papa and Get Money are better than Big Pimpin'.
Mike. That's what I'm saying. Some of these records, it's not even a conversation. That's why I'm willing to just do Hypnotize and More Money, More Problems, to be fair.
Bryce with the super chat says, "Born Again would have been volume 1 had Biggie lived." All right.
So
This is where I was gonna go too, man. Because again, this is not a slight. It's just what it is.
it's just the fact. Like I said, you ain't paying us, so it's like, yeah, the narrative be a little different when you don't pay motherfuckers.
I mean,
and buy this coverage. No, Mike, for real.
You know what it reminds me of, though? It reminds.
You don't buy this coverage. You feel slighted, but it's like, yeah, but you can't buy everybody every year that goes by. So eventually, people are gonna walk up, and pop up, and start telling the truth about how it happened. You was Beanie Siegel.
Well, at the end of the day, man, we speak to the people, and the people speak to us, even on our lives. So we have to be honest on this microphone. And this kind of reminds me of when you think about Shaquille O'Neal, right? When Shaq dominated, it's when all the great centers of that era were no longer playing. Is that fair to say? Hakeem was gone. David Robinson was gone. Patrick Ewing was gone.
It's very fair.
It's just facts. And, and when Jay had his run, the ones that were in his class that were running shit weren't there anymore. And the only person left was Nas. And, we talked about last week the whole I Am situation.
Right.
He struck at the weakest point, and this is when the run happened. And that's just the truth of the matter.
Hold on. And it's not like this isn't documented.
It's documented. And we're just talking about it. We're regurgitating it.
Like, Nas is talking about when all this is going on, Jay tried to sneak attack, assassinate my character, degrade my hood. Like, Nas told you that this was going on. He's pretty much saying, like, no, it was us three. This dude popped up. My shit got bootlegged. They got murdered. That's how he got there. Because that's how it really happened.
And his mom had passed away.
No. Let's keep it to the music. Big and Pop got murdered, and Nas suffered the biggest bootleg in like hip hop history. That's how Jay got in his position. That's how all of this happened. So when we would have got the commission, right? We would have got the commission. You were Beanie Siegel in the commission. Don't you ever forget that. And so don't ever like mistake that or try to play it differently. Yo, was Nas ever AZ in the firm, or was AZ in the firm, Mike? You feel what I'm saying?
No, that's real. No, and I think that's a great comparison.
Was Pac ever part of the Outlaws, or was it Tupac and the Outlaws? You feel where I'm going with
this? I think that's a great comparison.
Number 5.
Billy Barr says, tell him, Coop. It goes Nas, Biggie, Pac for me. Look.
It goes Pac, Big for me, but whatever.
I think, you know what? I'll give you, that's a great point, man. When you talk about the firm and commission, right? Same shit, right? Nas is Nas, and as great as AZ is AZ in the firm. And that's exactly how the commission would have went.
Right. AZ is AZ in the firm. Like, you want to know what the critique on the Firm album was? It was like, Nas is the obvious headliner. It's just that AZ's out rapping him on the album. And it's like, well, who they say was the headliner, Mike?
AK The Curtain says that Big would have probably ended up signing Jay. And, it's an interesting statement just based on what we've heard Big Gene Deal, former Bad Boy Security, say when he was saying that Big was getting all these big-time offers from some of the majors for a distribution deal. So that's highly plausible. Who knows? But he definitely would have had the resources to do so.
Mike, he was going gold or platinum every time he was touching the mic and dropping a record. I don't think people understand.
And he was spitting on top of that.
He was spitting crazy, Mike. If he was dropping a record, it was going gold or platinum. I'm going to say that again. If he was dropping a record, it was going gold or platinum.
Chelsea says, Coop, what did Jay ever do to you? This is sad.
He didn't do nothing. It just needs to be some honesty and some clarity about the situation, because quite frankly, he has paid his way through a lot of this being covered properly. So we're going to cover it properly. And if he didn't pay for it, that's some bullshit too. Just like this whole we would have got the commission. You're right, we would have got the commission. Let's talk about your position in the commission.
Well, I think, man, the music speaks, right? And we just went down the line if we talk about the singles. And I've always been one of those Jay fans that I feel like his non-singles are his strongest material.
It is. That's why
big singles and his album songs, they were so even killed that you can't even really, it just depends on what you like at that point. And again, when we talk about the lane and, Jay taking the lane that Big left wide open, those are based on the singles, right? because
Right.
clearly his approach to records. I mean, even after Reasonable Doubt, Puff Daddy is executive producing Volume 1. Why is that happening?
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's nothing wrong with that. It's just the fact of the matter that they understood, like, look, we're going to keep this thing going for Brooklyn. I'm going to pick up the slack. My man's gone. Like you said, my man died, and all I did was inherit his stress.
Where the Biggie verse at on Volume 1 too? Where the Biggie verse at? Like, you took the hooks. Where the verse? Couldn't get a big verse.
Well, I mean, there probably weren't even any left. I
It
think
was right
everything
there.
that Big recorded.
Hold on. Let me get this straight. Puff executive produced Volume 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were there for the making of Life After Death, right?
Yeah, I
You
love
took
it.
two of the hooks. You took two of the hooks, Real Niggas, right? And
Yeah.
Face Off, right?
Right.
Where the big verse?
Well, you think that he wanted a big verse and didn't get it?
No, I'm just saying, like, where is it? It's a valid question, don't you think? Look at everything that's around the album. Is Lil Kim on the album? Puff executive producing the album? Are you around during Life After Death? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People be playing like they want that pressure. You see what I'm saying?
No, you're right. Shout out to Latoria B with the $20 super chat. She said, Coop speaking straight facts. Do want to rewrite history. Reasonable Doubt didn't get 5 mics because it dropped where it was written. And the neck and wrist is mediocre at best. Excuse me.
It's
If
not
this
mediocre.
is who Hove is now, I don't want no album. Stay home with the kids, Hove.
No, it's not mediocre. This is a dope ass verse, actually. The verse is dope, Mike.
Well, all right. Well, do you agree with the second part? Are you ready for a Jay-Z album? Are you anticipating a Jay-Z album based on this?
This makes me feel better about it. How about this? When I thought about this from the perspective of competition. So objectively speaking, you know, he's my number 2. Objectively speaking. Personally, he's number 5. Objectively, he's number 2 behind Nas.
Right.
So I say to myself, this is the first time that he's done something while Nas been on this run that Nas should put his pen down and look up and be like, oh, you're back? Are you rapping? You came back to work? Like, cool. Welcome to what outside looks like now. Like, that's what this verse was for me. So it's like, is it verse of the year? Like our cohorts on the Rap Roundtable are saying, no, I don't think it's that, but it's a dope ass verse. And he is using his gifts well on this verse. Mike, the literary divisive, the connected, every word dependent upon each other that brilliant genius type writers know how to do. So the tools that he utilizes best are, most of them are in effect on this verse.
Mm-hmm.
And to that I would say, oh, well, you've been listening to us, so just say me and Mike's name since we done already made it.
Well, that's
to the
never
top of
gonna
the food
happen.
chain. No, nigga, since we done made it to the top of the food chain, just go ahead and say our name. But the verse is great, Mike. The verse is
I
great.
wouldn't say great. I like the phase on love slight.
I happen to be impressed by the verse. And here's what I mean about his literary devices is like, oh, well, you need to catch the entendres, the alliterations. Like he's in his bag.
Yeah.
He's in his writer bag.
Like the phase on love slight was, that was pretty good in there.
The Mike D and Coop slight was dope too. It's just off base, so we gotta check that shit.
I don't know if he was talking to us specifically, but this
Who
is
else
what
be
I will
talking
say.
to him like this, Mike? That's what I'm saying. He done paid his way to so many things with everybody else. Who else could he be talking about?
Well, I think that when you reach where he is, right? And I know Andre 3000 has spoken about this before. When Outkast reached a certain height, he didn't fit. They made music under the gun. They made music under the pressure where they had something to prove. At this point, Jay has nothing to prove, right? And there's no other outlets out there who are going to speak in the way that we speak. So maybe we are helping to reinvigorate that fire or being just listened to on that level. Maybe whatever we're saying is being taken in that way so he can have motivation to be hungry on a record. Because other than that, what does Jay have to be hungry about at this point? On the mic.
No. Here's what I will say to this. So, like I don't watch a lot of TV, but one of the shows I watch is Jalen and Jacoby. And I'm going to tell you something that I noticed when I watched their show. Did you see when they interviewed the Boston Celtics?
Nah, I missed that.
So they interviewed some of the Boston Celtics, and they asked them who the greatest rapper was of all time. And I think they interviewed 5 guys. The one white guy said Eminem.
Of course.
One guy who was definitely apparently younger and from down south said like Lil Yachty. And then like 2 guys said Jay-Z. And what I thought when I said like, this is what I mean about, well, he's been controlling that narrative for so long that there are like 25-year-olds walking around calling him the greatest MC of all time, and they don't even know why. And truthfully, the evidence isn't all the way there like that, but the way he has controlled this narrative with the media. And don't tell me that he hasn't paid people and been in people's pockets, because he won't be the first and he won't be the last. He's just the best player at this game right here. You feel what I'm saying? He's the best player in this game. He's the best player on the chessboard, Mike. He's just not the best MC. That's what I keep saying. It's like, oh, if you're talking about the best player on the chessboard, oh, I'm going to give that crown to him every day and twice on Sunday. Where he had as an MC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th.
I think that, just the work that he put out in the time period that he did, and just his incredible skills to, like I said, just come with the rhyme and just be versatile with it over an array of beats and work with different producers and have like a similar output and stay up with the times. He was king in that moment. But as he said, man, start off fast and you're wheezing in the back. And if we really sit here and look at what Nas has done in his totality and what Nas has done over the past 10 years, and when we start breaking that down, there's no way in the world I can put him ahead of Nas. I just can't. And just even looking at the core of what Nas meant in the beginning and in the middle, and now we're looking at, I don't even want to say the end, but we're looking at this phase.
Looking at this.
It's, you're going to have to prove it at this point. I think what really made me really start digging in and really start looking is when Jay went out there and said no one can see him on that Versus stage. And I'm sitting here like, that's not true. And he knows that's not true because he's a real head. He knows that's not true. I think it started with Memphis Bleak said Nas doesn't have enough songs to go against Jay, but somehow Big does. And I was like, see, this is a false narrative now. And see, now we got to really look at this because anybody on a Versus level could be touched. Even Michael Jackson could get got by Prince. Or who could possibly get got by Stevie. Anybody. To say that no one can see you, see, now that is out of line. And that's when we got to start looking in this stuff deeper.
See, that's exactly what I was about to say. You see, talking about Michael Jackson and Prince is exactly how Stevie come and fade both of them. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So anybody can get touched out here.
Like respect. I know it's everybody.
Respectfully, Bob Marley could touch Stevie. You feel what I'm saying?
Respect all the other musicians and MCs out there, man, to try to carry this whole thing that you're just above all. And honestly, if we break it down, you're not above Nas. I think it's just not honest. You know what I mean?
Not. So let's go to this narrative that's been crafted. It's this narrative that's been crafted where it's just like, oh, well, he's the best MC of all time. And it's just clean and it's just clear. It's like, and I'm looking around like, when the fuck did that happen? Like, when did that happen? When did lyrically he surpass Nas or Rakim at any point? When hit-wise did he surpass Big? When content-wise did he surpass Tupac? Like, tell me when these things happened, and that's when he became the greatest MC of all time. Because guess what? Those things never happened. But if you want to talk about a run, Mike, and I've told you this, the 2 best runs ever in rap in terms of reigns, Rakim's reign and Jay's reign in terms of how they are viewed. Those are the 2. So he is viewed almost the way that Rakim is viewed. And Rakim, for all those people in that era, for a lot of people, greatest MC of all time. So I get the view. What I'm trying to tell you is I can show you 20 to 30 Rakim records with just Rakim on it. Just Rakim. It's evidence to that.
Well, no, let's be clear. And I will say this right here on this mic since people seem to be watching our show. Jay-Z would lose to Kanye West in a Versus. It would not even be close, to be perfectly honest. And there's 2 things here.
You can't use Kanye tracks.
He wouldn't be able to. That's a loss in itself.
Good night to your catalog. Good night to a large portion of your dope ass catalog.
As soon as you play Niggas in Paris, as soon as you play Heart of the City, you lost.
Can't play no Ye
And
records.
he ain't got to play your joints. And he got his own joints. so that whole notion that no one can sit across from me no, Kanye West would beat you handily. And
Well,
that's just, and I say that respectfully because we got to respect everybody's career and the work that they put in. Kanye West would handily beat Jay-Z in a versus. I am going to say that again. Kanye West would handily beat Jay-Z in the verses because anything from 2000 on, you needed Kanye West's help.
Mike, all jokes aside, this is what I mean. I do not know right now today if he would beat Big in a versus. Big been gone since 97. Like, what you talking about? You the greatest MC of all time. Like, I don't know if you beat Big. I don't know if you beat Big.
It's
that's
close.
What I'm saying. Like because here's what I'm
Memphis
saying.
Bleak even said that, though.
What Jay is great at is the lyrical street records. All right?
Yeah.
He ain't passed Big at that, and Big's the better hit maker, and he's got the better voice and the better delivery. Where you winning at? You gonna play Where I'm From or You Must Love Me or 1,000,001? Guess what I'm gonna play? I'm gonna play Who Shot You? I'm gonna play 10 Crack Commandments. I'm gonna play Everyday Struggle. I'm gonna play Give Me the Loot. I'm gonna play Warning. You ain't winning shit over Big on either side.
What about Victory?
Tell people, huh?
Started off a Victory.
Mike, that's why I always tell people, lyrically, he is slightly better than Big. That is where that conversation ends. That's it. He's slightly better lyrically. When I mean slightly, I mean like,
Shout out to Truist with the super chat. Truist says, Nas I Am got 5 good songs and 11 penalties.
He's right. So let's get to some unrealistic people too. So no. So
hold on, let me get to this other super chat real quick before you get to that. Hold that thought though. Adriel Green, says Jay just swagging his way through these feature verses at this point. He used a style and delivery to pass off bars that are just decent. I could see that. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
These bars had a little bit more depth to them, like the sob comment and the soliloquy.
Oh yeah.
That's entendre and alliteration coupled at once in one bar, but the bars are separated on separate halves of the bars. That's top level writer shit. So don't discount it, okay? Because he's putting the alliteration and the entendre together in the format it's connected bar-wise. But technically, Mike, that's actually half a bar from one side and half a bar from the other side. You're a supreme writer when you do that shit. That's what I'm saying was like, I'm not going to be disrespectful.
So what happens when Biggie plays the what?
Not a lot for Jay. Because what he got, that's what I'm saying.
What about like, you play Warning?
That's what I'm saying. Like, Big does everything, Mike. He got him everywhere except for lyrically slightly. And it's like, that doesn't hold up because Big is such a tough. Like,
Notorious Thugs.
That's where Big becomes Method Man to Jay, where it's like, well, listen to that voice and that delivery to go with those lyrics. Even if you are lyrically better, so what?
Yeah, because I do think Jay is lyrically better, but that's about it.
Mike, not just about it. That's it. He's not a better songwriter. He's not a better storyteller. He's not a better hit maker. He's not a better... Mike, he still doesn't have one street record bigger than Who Shot You. That's why I'm saying it's like, y'all want to go to the street record side of things?
I would say you don't know. Or public service announcement.
Those aren't better than Who Shot You, Mike.
I don't know, bro. I think I might go You Don't Know. And I love Who Shot You. I think Mike, that Who Shot You is better than PSA, but it's not better than You Don't Know.
Ooh, Mike, when you say that, I mean, you do understand that's the record that got Jay excited, right?
Yeah, I feel that, but You Don't Know is a monster.
Like Jay feels
I think You Don't Know is a top 3 Jay record.
No, that might be the J record. Like, if we're being objective, that might be the J record. Yeah. Okay, so understand this. Who Shot You is not the Biggie record, and I would tell you that Who Shot You still might be better than You Don't Know, and You Don't Know might be his best record. You understand what I'm talking about now when I'm saying that? Just the fact that we're comparing the two. Because when people bring up Biggie's best records, did Who Shot You ever land at number 1?
No.
Does
it's probably right outside the top 5, maybe.
Right, so it's probably considered a top 10 Biggie record. And that may be a realistic way to look at this.
I can see PSA being better than Who Shot Ya. I think they're very, very similar because they're both classics. And I think PSA is one of those records that you're always going to hear DJs drop. I think that if we talk about the longevity of records, You Don't Know and PSA have probably lasted longer than every J record. I would say that and Give It To Me. Those are probably his.
But here's what I would submit to you, Mike. When Who Shot Ya comes on, that's almost the equivalent. How about this, Mike? If we're going old school, that's the equivalent to when the Microphone Fiend beat drops, or in our time, when the Grinding beat drops. That's the record that an MC's metal is based off of, and it's because of Big's performance on that record. You Don't Know and PSA don't have that. Where did the verses turn, Mike? When Kiss started rapping over the Who Shot Ya beat. That record's more important and it's better.
Bob T says,
hold on, Mike. If Kiss start rapping over You Don't Know, it's not going down the same in terms of effect it has on the people, because Who Shot Ya is more important and because it's a better record too.
I think that's a real decent point, honestly. Yeah, because if Kiss rhymes over You Don't Know, it's not the same.
Same effect. But it's Big rhyming over Who Shot Ya, Mike.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you gonna rhyme over that grimy Big shit? That's
and then
something
you got
different.
Puff yelling in the back and all that. Bob T says, Coop making Jay-Z look like Memphis Bleak out here in regards to
I'm making him look like Beanie Siegel out here, the way he made Beanie Siegel look. I'm making him look the way Beanie Siegel look. So I don't want to hear that. The way that he's looking right now, the way he made Beanie Siegel look. I don't want to hear that.
Nas the GOAT says, don't believe the truest, Mike. He also said that Nas is not lyrical. And he did said, say that. And he said the rewind is garbage. Truist, you sounding like a troll out here. Rewind's garbage? All right.
He said a lot of stuff is garbage, though, Mike.
Okay. Sounds like Truist might be trolling us. Okay, one thing I'm going to get to before we get to this Nas and the Grammys, because we ain't even gotten to that. And I'm looking forward to talking about that. Do you think that Pusha T is going to be dropping his album on Friday?
Yeah.
This Friday?
Yes.
I think so, too. Because why put out a single on a Wednesday? A single like this. This is something they would have held into Friday.
Right. No. You dropping the single with Hov on Wednesday because the album's dropping on Friday, and you want everything. Go ahead.
You know what? If this is any indication of the album, my prediction, think it's going to be quality, obviously, but I don't think it's going to be Daytona. I think Daytona was just so hardcore and so seamless. I think this one's going to do more things sonically than Daytona. It might be more fulfilling to some listeners because the biggest knock on Daytona is it's 7 songs. But I don't anticipate it being better than Daytona. But again, I like all the hardcore shit because you and I were talking offline. If this song was on Daytona, I think there's only one song that it would be definitively better than. And I don't even think based on the approach, I would have picked it to be on Daytona over Comeback Baby. Comeback Baby is probably the weakest song on Daytona, right?
Yeah, I think after our back and forth today, we came to the conclusion that Comeback Baby is the one time for your mind of Daytona.
Probably,
right?
Yeah.
Right. That's one time for your mind.
But the way he's spitting on there, I would have kept it on there, over this song.
So, Mike.
But I think the Comeback Baby is probably the only song that this song would have been, this song would have been better than. Go ahead.
So this is how dope Comeback Baby was. You know the first record that he actually previewed on Instagram, on his Instagram page about Daytona?
Was it Comeback Baby?
Comeback Baby.
Wow.
So think about what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how, I don't think people understand how great Daytona is sometimes. And it's not because I'm a Pusha T fan. It's like, no, Daytona's like that. Like I said, like when your weakest record is something like One Time for Your Mind or something like Comeback Baby, you probably got classic rap shit on your hand when that's your whack song. You know what I'm saying?
The Good Die Young, All Dogs Go to Heaven. Still got quotes on there.
Right, no, he's super quotable on there. He's spitting crazy on there.
I play Hollywood Squares with G Squares. Rick Flair before they was Rich Flair. Come on, man. Cocaine Concierge. Yeah. And that's the weakest song on the album. And then we said the Infrared's probably the second weakest.
Yes, so think about that. Because think about it, Mike. Is Infrared better than Hard Piano?
Hell no.
Is it better than Santeria?
No.
What would Meek do?
No,
If you know, you know.
no, it's not.
Mike, the games we play is your favorite record on Daytona. Correct
It's
me if I'm
between
wrong.
that and hard piano. It goes back and forth. Games we
Well, think
play is
about it. Well,
epic.
think about it. Infrared is one of the most scathing disses ever. It's one of the worst songs on this album.
Well, that's what happens when you have 7 songs on an album. But yeah,
That's what happens when you're making a classic too, Mike.
it is what happens when you're making a classic. That whole I seen what you seen when you see Wayne on tour. Flash without the flyer. Another multi-platinum rapper, Traffic can't retire. Niggas get exposed. I see the cracks and I'm the liar. Shit, I've been exposed. I took the crack and built the wire. Now who do you admire? Yeah, that's the second weakest song on there.
All of Mike, your rap songs are all trying my patience. Them numbers ain't real without inflation. Disrespectful.
Then a conduit. Yo, yeah. Somebody in the chat says Infrared is lethal. Yes, it is. Yes,
no, Infrared is lethal. That's how lethal Daytona is. It's like the 5th or 6th best song.
And Infrared killed the biggest pop star in the game.
And that star hasn't been the same since Infrared dropped.
I think that, yeah, Pusha T definitely put a dent in the run that Drake's having. And Drake is still going to do his numbers.
He need to be up all time for what he did to Drake. And I'm not saying that as a fan. I'm saying that because that's real.
Well, what about what he did to Wayne, though? Because, I mean, the Wayne diss, to me, was the strongest in there. And I think Drake jumped out there to defend Wayne, really.
Well, no. This is what I mean about context, about how people done put Drake ahead of Wayne. What did Nas say? Me and Frank White, it's like Cole, Kendrick, and Drizzy. So if that's where he's being held by somebody like Nas, well, he hasn't been that guy since Push dropped Infrared and Story of Adidon. So
that's real.
So that's real.
One's Bundy says, shout out to One's Bundy with the super chat, says, you can argue where I'm from against Who Shot Ya. Big's records were bigger because of the Pac beef. Not exactly, but I mean, you know, those are great records, though.
Who Shot Ya dropped before the Pac beef. I personally love Where I'm From. That's one of my favorite J records. I like Where I'm From better than PSA, not better than You Don't Know. And I'm going to tell you part of what's so memorable about that song is what he says. I'm from where niggas pull your card and argue all day about who the best MC is.
Who's the first name?
Z and Nas. What is the first name out of his mouth? Stop that.
It's true.
It's just facts. That's what I'm saying.
It's just true. We're not, again, man, and I think we got to
when you get to the facts and start spitting his shit, he tells you that Biggie's the greatest. Stop that.
And again, we got to respect history and we got to respect the life and the legacy of the great Notorious B.I.G. We would be remiss if we sat here and act like shit wasn't the way it was.
Mike, Biggie Smalls is the illest.
His style is played out. He created the lane. Let's keep it real. Like, I think that, you know what I'm saying, Pac and his approach to records warmed up that lane, but Big perfected that lane.
Pac started the lane. So how about this?
Biggie and Puff, I got to give Puff credit where credit's due too. Biggie and Puff perfected that lane.
Yeah, so how about this?
And it fucked up everybody else moving forward.
So here's how you got to look at it. Like hip-hop hit making for MCs in terms of balancing the hardcore and the single. Pac is like, there's dirt on the road, okay, before Pac arrives. Pac is the person that kind of puts like gravel and rocks down so it's easier to drive on and it doesn't kick up as much dust. Big and Puff came and put cement down. You feel what I'm saying? So you're going from dirt, from gravel to cement. You know what I'm saying?
No, I feel you. The Truest with the super chat says, Push is rapping about fish sandwiches now. Who lost? I love the trolling by the Truest. That's hilarious.
He's rapping rather well about fish sandwiches. He's rapping rather well.
Yo, he gave that fish sandwich the business. Listen, man, I'm looking forward to talking about this album on Friday. I know we got to move on, but again, I think it's a dope record. I'm looking forward to possibly hearing a full-length Jay-Z album, and if this is what you need to give you the ammunition to put out some fire, you know, we'll keep speaking the truth.
You know what I did think about as a Pusha T fan, though, about this rollout? Because I know I've told you behind the scenes. It's like, well, I don't love this rollout. He's never needed to promote or plug or do anything like this. And then when I thought about it, it's like, when has a nigga ever been talking about dope this late and gotten a rollout like this? It's like, when has Cool G Rap ever gotten this rollout? Is Jeezy getting this rollout this late in his career? And that's when I kind of became more okay with it, because he's kind of thumbing his nose up a little bit with how he's rolling it out. He's like, yeah, here I am still talking this white shit, and it's major and it's everywhere, and there's nothing you can do about it. And so on that level, as somebody who's a Cool G Rap fan, the way that I am, and somebody who, to quote King Push, is on the inside track of a G-Rap poster, like, that part of me is okay with it about the game, because it's like, well, G-Rap didn't really get that. Hove kind of had to dumb it down to get that. Jeezy was never super lyrical. Nobody's ever really been in a position pushing, talking this way, this late, being this popular for it. You know what I mean? Like, it's popular. Like, he's popular.
It's interesting. I'm looking forward to the album. And I think Daytona set all this up. And I think the quality of Daytona, and I think obviously, the back and forth with Drake heightened all of these things in relation as well. Let's move on to Nas, man. Did you see the Grammys?
I did.
What were your thoughts of the Grammy show as a whole?
As a whole?
Yeah.
I was overall impressed with the performances. Just truthfully speaking, it still feels old and white.
Well, it's the Grammys, and it's the Academy. And you know what I didn't realize though? They only give out 4 rap awards. Did you realize that? I mean, the only rap awards that they gave out were Best Rap Performance, Best Melodic Rap Performance, and I think that's a new category. Best Rap Song, and Best Rap Album.
Super problematic.
And so I guess we'll start with the top. Best Rap Performance was Baby Kim featuring Kendrick Lamar. I don't know if they mean performance as in actual performance, but somebody brought up a good point. Have you ever seen Baby Kim and Kendrick Lamar perform this song?
Mike.
I'm sorry. I mean, do we mean what do they mean by performance exactly? And see, these are some of the issues with the Grammys, is the fact that we don't really know what these categories mean.
These white people so out of touch, Mike.
So Best Rap Performance, Baby Kim featuring Kendrick Lamar, Family Ties. I don't think there's...
Are they talking about mic performance?
I don't know.
Are they talking live performance?
I guess if they meant live performance, they would have said live performance.
Well, hold on. If they meant mic performance, or if they meant live performance, here's what I would have to submit. Either way, you don't know what you're talking about.
The Black Line says Baby Kim shouldn't have won. The other people that were in that category was Cardi B, Up, J. Cole featuring 21 Savage, My Life. Well, Moray's on that record too, my bad. And Thought Shit by Megan Thee Stallion.
21. Cole and 21.
Okay, Best Melodic Performance. Kanye West won that with the Weeknd.
Best what?
Melodic Rap Performance. I think that's a newer category.
What in the fuck is that, Mike?
I don't really know. I guess I would assume that it's the rapping, singing thing.
Mike, I'm pretty certain we could submit some tracks from Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em by Rakim, and they wouldn't know the difference. What you think? Let's hit them with Mahogany and Know the Ledge.
Well, let's look at what's in the category, right? Best Melodic Rap Performance. The nominees were Kanye West for Hurricane, J. Cole featuring Lil Baby, Pride is the Devil, Doja Cat, Need to Know.
Pride is the Devil. Give me some Pride is the Devil.
Lil Nas X featuring Jack Harlow, Industry Baby, and Tyler the Creator featuring NBA YoungBoy and Ty Dolla $ign with What's Your Name. So yeah, I guess the one thing that these songs have in common is like that melodic auto-tune and shit.
Did Tyler win?
No. Kanye and The Weeknd and Lil Baby won with Hurricane.
Just make it stop.
Okay, so Best Rap Song, that went to Kanye West with Jail. The other nominees were DMX, Bath Salt. What's that?
I feel like we're in jail talking about this. Get us out of here. Get me out. I want out.
It ain't that bad.
It is that bad, Mike. Listen to the shit that you saying.
The nominees were DMX Bath Salt, that was featuring Jay and Nas, Best Friend, Doja Cat and Sweetie, that was Sweetie's song, Family Ties, Baby Kim and Kendrick Lamar, and My Life, J. Cole, 21 Savage, Moray. And so Best Rap Album, the nominees were Donda, King's Disease 2, The Off Season, and Call Me If You Get Lost, Tyler the Creator. Tyler the Creator won that Best Rap Album category. All right, so these are my thoughts on that. And Blue Collar Hustler says Best Rap Song is the Writers Award. Best Rap Performance is the cadence, the flow. Melodic Rap used to be Best Rap Sung. I remember that category. Okay. Thanks for the clarity there. Okay. We spoke very highly of Tyler the Creator's album that was released last year, Call Me If You Get Lost. I remember when we actually did our live on it the Friday that it came out. Dope album. What was interesting about him winning Best Rap Album was the fact that the night seemed to be about Nas, and the fact that they invited Nas to come out and do a performance. And I thought it was a really dope performance. I like how he was able to bring all of the elements and do a medley that really celebrated his career. I think Ludacris came out there right after and was, making sure people gave Nas even more props for being 30 years in the game and, doing it to this level. Mm-hmm. I was taken aback by the fact that he didn't win that award, because usually if you perform at these awards, you get the award that night. And Tyler wasn't even at the award show, and he got that award. So I know in previous shows and a couple of shows back, we were debating if Nas should perform at the Grammys and if Nas was being used by the Grammys. Based on that alone, I personally feel like Nas got played as a fan. But again, some of the fans gave me some insight and were saying that Nas was doing this so that his fans could see him perform. Now, I want to ask the fans, how do y'all feel about him performing and getting slighted for that award for somebody who didn't even show up? Godfather with the super chat says, "Yo, Mike and Coop, you think Nas songs, the way that he put them in order, he did the One Mic, A Little New York, State of Mind, and Rare Form in the second half." I think he was asking what we think about the performance and the way that the tracks were put together. What did you think?
First of all, I don't like I can't stand that happy shit. But for the scenery and for a great start off, love the way that it put together. You know what the highlight for me was? He did the hook that made you look live at the Grammys. That's some rap shit, Mike. That's what I mean about how he be on some rap shit. He performed a song that's arguably his best single and his best rapping ass single. But Mike, that's old school, Mike. That's the Apache break loop again. So that's history. So there's a little history lesson in that. Mike, I told you that One Mic is bigger than the actual song itself. The song itself is not one of his 20 best songs. The moment that he provides on there is top 5 for him. That's what I mean about that song being important. It's not one of his 20 best songs. It's one of his 5 most important songs, though.
What song is that again?
One Mic.
One Mic is interesting to me because I feel like he kind of, it's an incredible song, right? But I don't feel like Nas loves that song. Because he doesn't, it doesn't seem like he remembers all the words to it whenever he performs it.
Mike, it's more of a moment than it is one of his best songs. Like if I'm making a Nas greatest hits list, like for heads, I'm not even putting like One Mic anywhere in the vicinity but for people who may not know who he is exactly, like a Grammy audience, no, that's one of those records. Yeah.
It's good for his image. It explains who he is.
Right. That's what I mean about It's a Moment. It's like, is that one of his best records? No. It's like, you want to finally play New York State of Mind. But it's like, but since you can't handle this shit, you better listen to one mic. You feel what I'm saying? You can't play Blood of a Slave, Heart of a King at the Grammys. So play one mic.
Blue Collar Hustler with the super chat says, it's actually not a given that performers win. Check Michael Jackson in 89, India Arie in 02, Kendrick in 13. Nas' performance was strategic, not for a W, but strategic for who?
Listen to what he's saying. Those three performances that he were talking about, the talk the next day is why they didn't win, because they all deserve to win. Every single one of those instances he brought up.
Well, okay. Let's do this.
All three instances he brought up, there was talk about how they should have won because they were the more deserving artists. All three instances. I remember those.
So Michael Jackson was early, and honestly, Michael Jackson played that wrong. He should have just made sure that, and you know what, I'm not even gonna say that. Michael probably did it for the fans too. The fans that actually wanted to see him perform on television. So India Arie, she was a new artist. She doesn't have any leverage on the Grammys at that point. If they ask her to perform, she's like, cool. Thanks for the nominations. But as far as Nas being 30 years in his career and everything that he's done, he doesn't need Grammy validation or anything. Like, I'm sorry, man. I'm going to have to make sure that I'm not out here looking crazy. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
He didn't look crazy, but
but you know what I mean. You're not going to use me for ratings and sit there and give the award to somebody who sat home. That's all I'm saying. Because like you said, I come to work.
No, Mike. Right.
I came here to perform for your show. I gave these eyeballs who normally wouldn't be watching your show the ratings. You're going to give me this award that I deserve anyway. So if y'all want to give Tyler the award, ask Tyler to perform.
These fans, like his fan, and I'm part of them, like Mike, they're telling us to hall pass it and just let him perform. But I feel you because I kind of reside with you on the notion because what did I tell you about KD1? I was like, well, Mike, do I want him to win KD1 Grammy? Well, yes, because they shitted on him and ostracized him and kept him out. But Mike, what did I tell you? I said, but if we're being honest, Alfredo should win.
But see, the thing is, man.
So let's go back to last night. So my real problem at the end of the day isn't even that he showed up and performed and they gave it to Tyler. It really is about the fact that KD2 is a superior album to Call Me If You Get Lost, and this is the Grammy that he deserved.
Don't use me for ratings, man. And you know what?
He deserves to perform and win this Grammy. Like, I'm not even sure how much he preserved it for KD1. I think Alfredo is better, distinctively. But about the moment, about 30 years in, about the fact that y'all just handed him a Grammy and everybody out here in these streets know KD2 is better than Call Me If You Get Lost, and Tyler not even rapping like that.
I was about to say, rap album. Now, if you want to give him rap sung category or something like that, we talking about rap album, and this man just went out. This man just went out there on stage and rapped. And come on, man. No, I mean,
you want, what is it? Melodic album? Is that what they're calling it, Mike?
Something like that, yeah.
You want to do that My Melody shit and give that to Call Me If You Get Lost all day. But the best rap album last year that would have fit into their criteria about date was King's Disease 2. And the guy who created King's Disease 2 was on stage with the live band, and you should have handed him the award. You've done it so many times. And not just in this category, they've done it so many times, Mike. They've done this so many times with Best New Artist, Best Pop Song, Album of the Year. Mike, did Outkast not perform the year that the Love Below the Speaker Box on Album of the Year? Did they not both perform?
They both perform.
When Eminem wins these
and they Grammys, were the biggest draw.
Mike, when Eminem won his Grammys, is he not performing at almost all those Grammy shows?
No. Tabernet with the super chat says, great content, fellas. 260 in the chat. New subscribers every day, and Coop outside now. 2022 going to be a good year for A2HH. Yes, sir. Appreciate that. We got so much coming for you, too. I do want to finish my thought because I was speaking to one of my people earlier, and he brought up something I thought that was notable. Jay-Z has more Grammys than anybody. Has he ever performed? No. Has he ever performed on that stage outside of Swagger Like Us?
I don't give a fuck, Mike. He has more Grammys than Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, and Prince. Something is wrong with the Grammys.
No, I'm not even going to go there because we know a lot of his stuff is, kind of featured things. But what I'm saying is Jay-Z's not allowing that institution to use him for ratings and performances. as Jay would always say, like magazines, they use your likeness to sell magazines. And he understands the power in his performance and his ability to get people to watch these people's show. If you're not going to hand me this award, then you're not getting a performance from me. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame didn't even get a performance from him. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They didn't get a performance from him. He understands that, shit, do you even know what a Jay-Z performance probably even costs a promoter at this point? He's not giving you that shit. And it is what you're not going to sit here and use my performance for your ratings and my audience and go give the award to Tyler the Creator who's not even here to receive it.
So
I have a problem with that.
This is so, and I do too, because this is what I don't like about the Nas fan base. Like, first of all, I want to let all the Nas fan base know I'm the leader of the Nas fan base because I'm the only one that thinks objectively in moments like this. You motherfuckers go off the rails and make him feel compelled to do shit like this that he don't have to do. Because, Mike, real talk, I would have told them, I'm not showing up for less than $5 million, or fuck you and fuck your team.
I think the only thing is the fact that Hit Boy, I think he is on the board, the Grammys. But see, that's the thing. We should have got that award.
It's problematic.
Exactly.
That's what that is. That's problematic that he's on the board. Because that's really why Nas is there at the end of the day. Go ahead and slide me $1 million instead. Take that $5 grab out Hit Boy. Make that one. Still need 7 figures though. Fuck that 6 shit.
So you're not the leader of the Nas fan base. Shout out to Mike H with the super chat.
No, I am, because y'all don't know what y'all are doing.
Because of this channel, because this channel is dope. 10,000. Let's go. Yes, sir. Appreciate that, Mike H. I mean, look,
I am the leader of
the
fan base. No, Mike, I want to say something. I am the leader of this fan base. That's how all y'all got here, because I was the one speaking objectively about the things that you've been feeling and thinking inside this whole time. It's just we're going to continue to be objective, not go off the fucking rails, because that's what's the problem with Nas fans. They be going off the rails. Like, Mike, you understand there are people in our chat trying to tell me that we will survive, and I want to talk to you off IM or Dope Records? No, they're not. No, they're not. Whoever told you that lied to you. That shit is whack. He never performs those records. We will survive, Mike. He didn't even try. It's the same cadence and flow from One Love. He didn't even try.
You know, I've made fun of you for years about, the fact that Nas fans think anything that Nas puts down is great.
Dude, I want to talk to you. They're like, that shit hard, Coop. I'm like, no. You're having a hard time listening. You might be hard of hearing.
I never liked I Will Survive. And IM is actually celebrating his 23rd anniversary today. And it's funny, we were just talking about the intricacies of those songs that never made it. Yes. On IM last week. I was listening to something on YouTube. I think it was it's just a whole bunch of different versions of what the bootleg copy was, because I just wanted to see what the flow was like. But Sophia S says, excuse you, Coop. Hold on. Where we at? Y'all. She said, excuse you, Coop. I'm here for Mike D and his cheekbones. Oh, goodness. That's hilarious. All right.
That's funny. That was funny.
But
like that.
No, but for real, man, I know people don't want to look at it like this, and us fans don't want to see these award shows like this, but it's business, man. Like, Beyonce's not showing up to your show performing and you ain't giving me no awards. And and at the end of the day, I understand it, because the thing is, these artists could be out here getting $100, $200, whatever $1,000 bag, performing for their real fans, and sitting here performing for free at these shows, looking crazy in the audience. Fuck that. No.
Yes.
And you're going to sit here and give the award to Tyler was probably out performing, getting his bag.
I was about to say,
That's probably what he was doing.
Tyler was probably out somewhere like, yo.
And that's cool. Do your thing.
Tyler was literally like, I just won a Grammy. I need 150 now instead of 100.
And I wasn't even there to receive it.
I want it now.
So, I have a problem with that. I think it was a great performance, but, I'm not the one to say I told you so or anything, guys, but I think that if you look back at the previous episodes, we may have been right. Nas should have sat in this one out. But I'm glad we got a great performance. But it made me think, this is probably why we don't have that seminal Jay-Z Grammy performance, because he's not entertaining their bullshit, and he has more Grammys than anybody.
Right. And so this is what I mean about this unrealistic ass fan base, because I almost feel like he did this for his fans more than anything else, is how it's really starting to look.
He's a man of the people.
Because he's a man of the people, and it's like, oh, that is so admirable that you took one on the chin about this fan base that thinks we will survive, and I want to talk to you. Good records. I had somebody try to justify "You Won't See Me Tonight" by Aaliyah was banging because they played it on Hot 97 all the time. I was like, oh, they played it on Hot 97, and that means that the shit slaps all of a sudden.
Okay. Latoria B says those awards don't matter to me. I get what you're saying, but why we shitting on him for performing? I'm not shitting on him. I'm just saying let's not get played out here.
Right.
If we're gonna do something to add something to somebody's show or event, let's get something for it. That's all I'm saying.
Hold on. Most of the people that are following us follow us because we don't play establishment games.
Yeah, I mean, again, if they wanted him to perform, and it seemed, and it might not be what it is, but it seemed like because Kanye was no longer performing, they went and got Nas. If you're going to do that, make sure you do the right thing and get this King Disease 2 album, the best rap album, because it was the best rap album.
It was.
And if you don't feel like that, go call the nigga that you wanted to that you're gonna give the award to perform at your show.
It cost the Academy nothing to actually, award the album that actually deserved the award.
Yeah,
cost nothing, right?
Rate the performance is what I'm seeing. How would you rate the performance?
I give it a 4 out of 5. It wasn't like brilliant. Like I told you, the Made You Look moment was dope. The New York State of Mind loop was dope. I Can is happy as hell, so the Grammy needs it, so I get it. I was a little, one mic I understand, I was a little off-put by Rare, but then I think about it and it's like, well, he's performing a song at the Grammys on an album that he won a Grammy for, so that makes sense to do Rare because that's the first thing. What is that? I mean, he's not gonna do Ultra Black, right?
Right. Blue Collar Hustler says, I skipped one of his super chats, but he was talking about the strategy. He says strategic in the fact that 24 hours after the performance, KD2, it was written and Magic shot up to the top 50 on Apple Music. The Standing O got Nas great press. I'm with that.
I'm with that too. And here's the reality of the matter too. Oh, KD3 on the way. And KD3 going to do better numbers than KD1, KD2, and Magic.
Yeah, no, I like that. And I'm looking forward to KD3 as well. Ethan Hill says, correction, Coop, Jay-Z and Kanye both have 24 Grammys, which is more than Prince and Michael Jackson combined.
Crazy. Damn, you don't deserve that. Next. Right. Like, I don't give a damn.
Well, things are different now. And I think that, the way we count music streams and charting positions, all these collaborations, these are things that people like Prince and Michael and Aretha Franklin didn't do or didn't have to do to get the positions and the records that they have. So I think that when we talk about those type of records and we talk about Billboard entries and things like that, we need to separate them from eras. I mean, because it's just not fair. Because could you imagine Michael Jackson being in the digital streaming era and collaborating with anybody? Anything that this dude would be on would be number one for weeks.
Kanye and Hov didn't make When Doves Cry. I don't give a damn.
Kanye's thing is different too, because Kanye is a big time producer and artist and featured heavy. So it's like, yeah, he's gonna accumulate more.
No, it's cute. It is. Right.
Yeah. I mean, great artist though. You know what I'm saying? But it's just different,
I keep telling people, it's like, yeah, you keep like I be telling people, it's like, your most important rapper in the history of music, even in black music, it's like, you understand where that person falls? Because that person would be Tupac for me. And it's like, if I was putting Tupac on the spectrum of black artists, it's like, well, there's Bob Marley, there's Stevie, there's Prince, there's Mike, there's Janet, who doesn't get enough. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so the first rapper that would make the list in black music would probably be Tupac. It'd probably be like 9 or 10. So it's like, that's what I'm talking about in relationship to the importance and the quality of the music.
And I don't even know if I could put Pac ahead of Marvin Gaye. I can't. Right. I don't even want to say I don't even know. I can't. I won't.
Like, Pac didn't make What's Going On. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not get it twisted. He didn't make What's Going On. He's made nothing as important or as quality as that music-wise. And so we need to like have, like, I be joking, like when I be in here, I be like, man, these niggas didn't make Purple Rain or Thriller, but I be joking, Mike, but I kind of be serious.
No, it's real.
It's real. Like, do you play 17 instruments at the drop of a dime like Prince, and can rap, and can sing, and can perform in heels, even if you agree or disagree with it? Can you do that shit? No. Shut the fuck up and get in line.
Oh, no, and no sampling either. Like, we just coming straight from the grit with it.
How about you create your own guitar riffs and drum riffs from scratch on top of that?
No, it's different.
No, it's different.
Speaking of which, though, you know, and I know this wasn't really in the show head or anything, and we talk about the Grammys. What about musicians like Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars?
You said musicians like Anderson .Paak, right?
Bruno Mars is a musician, too.
What does he play?
He plays guitar and drums.
Is he good at it?
He is good at it.
I just didn't notice because he was so busy appropriating our culture for the past decade, but I missed it. Did he do that too, though?
Man, listen,
part of the appropriation that we just gave him the hall pass on? He's not black.
Hold. How? All right, so you consider him an appropriator and not Eminem?
No, I told you Eminem's an appropriator. I just told you Eminem's acknowledged his appropriation. So he gets acknowledgement for acknowledging.
So he gets a pass because he acknowledged.
No. I didn't say pass. I said he gets acknowledged because he acknowledges the appropriation. I can respect somebody who acknowledges that they are appropriating off the music, as in somebody that keeps on sliding on in. We keep on giving them hall passes because the music is good.
So where do we draw the line? When is it appropriation and when is it influence? Because clearly Bruno Mars is influenced by, black music.
When you put on gold chains and Versace shirts and start talking about Cadillacs, when that is not your culture and is a misrepresentation of ours.
Okay.
Right there. So when you start doing that shit right there, especially when you were on a stool singing and playing a guitar in black and white videos 2 years prior, there was no Cadillacs and Versace shirts and gold chains.
So your problem with it is the imagery and...
Yeah, some white people told him to start acting black, so he did, and now he's here. Yes.
I get it.
You get it because it happened, and it can be
No. Listen, when you're right, you're right. And I think that sometimes when people are very talented and they're very good at what they're doing, we overlook certain things. Mm-hmm. And I think Eminem's another person, that fits in that category.
Absolutely.
But I think the thing with, and I think you made a great point, but I think the thing with Bruno Mars is he came up as an impersonator, an Elvis impersonator, and I think the way he creates is directly derived from something he sees.
Hold on. Think about what you just said.
Yeah, no.
He came up as an Elvis impersonator.
Yeah.
What did Elvis do exactly in relationship to black music, Mike?
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
Full circle.
Full circle.
So, all right. So how do you feel about Anderson .Paak in relation to that?
I mean, I don't like it, and to be honest with you, I didn't listen to one song off the Silk Sonic album.
It's a good album, too.
No, I've heard everybody wax poetic about it, and personally am a big fan of Anderson .Paak. Will not be listening to the album. Do not want to listen to the album. Have no desire to listen to the album. Don't give a fuck about the album because we got to stop picking and choosing these spots. We got to stop giving Eminem a hard time and giving this dude a pass because he looks more like us.
We said we got to stop giving Eminem a hard time.
No. We got to stop giving him a hard time in relationship to guys like this that deserve the same hard time to get a pass just because they are closer.
I think the difference is it's the music. I think the music gets us blinded by everything.
No. The difference is somebody way better in music co-signed Eminem than co-signed Bruno Mars, and that's Dr. Dre.
Do you not like Bruno Mars's music, or you just can't listen to it because of...
The appropriation on the project with the 24 karat and the magic and all that, the appropriation was just slapped too much everywhere for me to be like, no, we're not hall passing this shit when this nigga's winning album of the year before Prince. No. Okay. I'm not. You understand he won an album of the year Grammy and Prince didn't?
Soul Sonic won a lot the other night too.
Soul Sonic won more than Prince ever won at the Grammys. And this dude's not part of our culture. And he's infiltrated our culture and has never once owed up to it. And we talk about Eminem, and that's fine. But I'm going to say this again. This nigga out here getting more Grammys than Prince, who has defended this culture and defended black artists. and genius and creatively and music-wise is beyond the stratosphere that this guy could ever pray to be in.
What would you say, when Prince passed?
We haul past that shit,
No,
Mike.
when Prince passed, he was doing one of the Prince tributes, wasn't he? I believe.
I had a problem with that shit too, Mike.
What would you say to someone who says that?
I just want him to own it.
No, but his entry into the game was through. Well, the first time I ever heard Bruno Mars was through B.O.B.'s "Nothing on You," and then he wrote "Fuck You" for CeeLo.
Mm-hmm.
So, what would you say to someone who says, he's rooted in black music because that was his entry point into the game?
That's great. Do you have the right to put on a gold chain and talk about Cadillacs and a Versace shirt like you are a black man that has lived that lifestyle? Where is he from?
I guess what I would ask is, what is his culture there? To you, what is his culture? Right.
That's what I'm saying. So he's Filipino. He's Hawaiian and Filipino.
Okay.
And I believe he was raised in one of those areas indigenously. So it's like this lifestyle.
He's from Hawaii, I think.
Right. So understand this. Eminem's lived more of a black lifestyle than he has, and we get on him.
Eminem from Obama are from Hawaii.
No. Let's go ahead and break this shit down. Eminem from 8 Mile in Wyoming and Detroit, Mike. All right? So he way closer to this culture than Bruno Mars could ever pray to be, and we give him shit. We have to be fair. Right. He from 8 Mile in Wyoming. Right.
But does his music speak that?
Right, I'm sorry. He not from 8 Mile in Wyoming. I got people from 8 Mile in Wyoming. He from the other side of 8 Mile headed towards 7 Mile with the railroad tracks where the trailers is at.
I think the issue with
what I'm saying is, Mike, Eminem 1-2 steps over from the hood in the D. And we give him shit about appropriating this music, but Bruno Mars gets to step in and be Hawaiian and Filipino and never go through any streets or any struggle. And he gets to link up with Anderson .Paak. And the whole thing's just been passed through. He's no different than Taylor Swift, Mike.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Because Sonic lovers. Right.
This is the thing, man. Because
you playing Erykah Badu and putting your fist up. Right.
This is no different than when the Beatles came over and were doing Motown records, It's
no, Mike, it's way different than that.
But I feel you with the gold chain thing. And I get that. And I have no rebuttal for that.
Jump in a Cadillac in a video. They jumping in Cadillacs in Hawaii, fam?
You're playing a caricature, right? You're playing a black culture caricature.
No, he's playing specifically, and this is for the educated blacks and those who out there know, he's specifically playing the cool pose character of the black man. The black man who's cool, laid back, relaxed, always looking good, always got
very 70s, right?
Right. He always looking good and cool. He ain't got no real job. He got time to hop in his Cadillac and pull up on you.
But
his wardrobe is everything. His gold chain, his shirt, the way he looks. That bullshit, nigga.
But it's funny because when you add Anderson .Paak in the fold, who I think is an incredibly talented artist, who's been making some dope individual solo albums on his own for years and getting slept on for it, when you add him into the fold, it gives Bruno even more credibility. And I was looking for Boosie Collins because this Silk Sonic project was supposed to be those three. So I don't know what Boosie Collins is, but hopefully he got Grammys out of this too, because I thought that the Silk Sonic collective was Boosie Collins, Bruno, and Anderson .Paak. Saying all that to say, even when all those things are in play, everything that you said, which was legit, when you add people like Anderson .Paak and a credible individual like Boosie Collins, it gives Bruno all kinds of credibility.
Right. And I don't give out fucking hall passes, so I don't give a fuck if it's Boosie or Anderson .Paak. It could be Obama. I look Obama in the face, be like, "Oh, that's your Hawaiian homie." Nigga ain't seen those streets. At least he was in Chicago. What up?
Allegedly. All right, Joe Bro. He says, this is about to be a long show. Y'all ain't even got to the Luda and T.I. verses yet.
It's already been too long.
Let's do it. You want to get into this verses?
We might as well.
All right.
I didn't get your list. Will you send me your list right quick so I can
see? Oh, yeah. My bad. Let me go ahead and send this list to Coop, and we're going to get into it, man. Basically, what happened was, we...
Hold on, Mike, and I just want to say this right quick. Like, you do understand that by the time that the Beatles started covering like Motown records, they were already like the biggest group this world had ever seen.
Oh, definitely.
Like off their White Boy records, they were the biggest group this world had ever seen.
Incredibly talented group.
Hold on, Mike. Then they did Motown covers.
Yeah.
Then they did Motown covers after being ridiculously like Mike. The Beatles are more famous than anybody ever, except for maybe Michael Jackson.
88, Great 88, says Anderson .Paak is half black and Filipino. Well, there we go.
Oh, well, that would explain it because and I know this from the West Coast culture. A lot of Filipinos, and I got Filipino homies. You know,
it is what it is. All right,
Mike, I'm super familiar with Filipino culture. They are tied to us in a lot of ways. But what I'm trying to say is that show me culturally where he's tied to the things that he expressed on that album.
I can see where you could take offense to that. And I get that.
Mike, I don't wear gold chains. I'm from the west side of Charlotte, east side of Atlanta, and I don't wear gold chains.
Shamario Patterson said Bruno Mars did not write Fuck You. That was Philip Lawrence. Don't do that. See, I always was told that he did. Sorry. Correction. Correction. I apologize. Sorry about that, Philip Lawrence. Got to give people their props. Anyway, let's get to this mock versus, man. You guys requested it, so we did it. They said that we needed to do a T.I. and Ludacris mock versus. Man, this was difficult for me, man. I ended up pulling the Ludacris card, and Coop got the T.I. card.
I feel bad for you looking at this list.
Oh, man, I ain't even really looked at your list, man. I just copied and pasted and put it up on the screen for the people. And so we're going to need the people's participation in helping us with some of these. Man, yeah, help. That's all I can say. We about to get to it. Because all the pressure was on me, man. The Ludacris fans, I think it was Sophia Esther was like, man, don't do Ludacris wrong. So
Can I be honest with you about something, Mike? I was super surprised at our contingency outside of Atlanta that favored Ludacris over T.I.
You might be surprised even more because people in here are saying Luda wins. Luda wins.
Right. I want you all to understand that you all that are saying that. I picked this list specifically so you know who T.I. is and what he's been a part of so much because y'all are so disrespectful right now. But we going to get to it so that you can get a good idea about how versatile and how many hits and how big this dude really is. Let's go.
I'm going to get killed if Luda doesn't win this. All right. Southern Fried Intro versus Bring 'Em Out.
Well, Mike, you're not off to a good start.
You know what? I don't like Bring 'Em Out like that. I think if they did this on a versus stage and Luda did that Southern Fried Intro, I don't know. You want to go to the people on this?
Mike, I know this is a Nas channel, but this is actually T.I.'s coming out party to the masses for those of us outside of Atlanta. Bring 'Em Out was the record that took him outside of Atlanta.
It is the one.
Jay-Z hook. And he had Swiss on the beat doing the hook. This is the Bring T.I. out of Atlanta record for all of those who feel like Luda's bigger outside of Atlanta. This was the one. Bring 'Em Out, Bring 'Em Out. It's hard to yell when there are barrels in your mouth. Swizzy, boom, 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 boom. Stop that. That's what I'm saying.
Who y'all got? Southern Fried Intro or Bring 'Em Out? I think, I'm with you. I think Bring 'Em Out's probably going to win that. And see, people are already getting at me. Oh, Split Spark says Southern Fried Intro wins.
I like Southern Fried Intro. Like
Michael Brown says Bring 'Em Out, hands down. You bugging, Mike.
No.
The Truist says Luda takes this.
No,
I see another person saying Luda. I don't know. Bring 'Em Out's the bigger song.
Bring 'Em Out's way bigger.
Let's go Bring 'Em Out. No.
That
ain't a wash.
Do we need to wash that and come back to it?
No, that's not a wash. Welcome to Atlanta in 24s. Welcome to Atlanta.
It's 24s. No, it's not, Mike.
Oh, come on, man.
Let the people decide.
They do that in the verses, man. Welcome to Atlanta's winning that.
No, it's not, Mike.
Come on, what we got here? Welcome to Atlanta, Jack and Hammers and Bows back to the back.
Mike, you think Welcome to Atlanta is better than 24s? Like, I'm asking you.
I think if we talking about on a stage, straight up, it's the more notable record. Because personally, I think Southern Fried is better than Bring 'Em Out. But I get what you're saying. Like, if Bring 'Em Out, you know what I'm saying, came on,
No,
that's the
Mike,
bigger
I
song.
personally think
Welcome to
Southern
Atlanta's the
Fried.
bigger song.
I think Southern Fried is personally better than Bring 'Em Out. But 24s is just a better record up and down than Welcome to Atlanta to me, even though, like, how about this? When you're bringing up Southern Fried versus Bring 'Em Out, you're bringing up an album record versus a hit record. I'm talking hit record versus hit record.
Now, Welcome to Atlanta's getting a lot, but it looks like 24
is the bigger hit record. Welcome to Atlanta is the bigger hit record, but 24s is the better record.
24s is winning.
I know, because it's a better record, Mike. That's what I'm saying. Welcome to Atlanta is bigger, but between these two singles, 24s is the better song. Money, hoes, cars, and clothes. That's how all my niggas roll.
Man Ned says you got a bad list for Ludacris. What did I miss?
No, Mike. You're not missing nothing. People been missing Ludacris and putting Luda ahead of T.I. We about to stop that.
All right, next song.
Mike, I'm willing to wash the first one, but I'm more strong about 24s than I am Bring 'Em Out, truthfully.
I'm in the drop top Chevy with the roof wide open. See, the problem here is it's hard for us to take away the local bias.
I'm down 285, but I'm focused. Stop that, Mike. Come on.
I mean, I'm seeing all kind of. It looks like 24s is winning though.
Yeah, 24s is a monster, Mike.
We'll put this in the poll too because it looks pretty close. All right, next song. Saturday and Shoulder Lean. That's Saturday.
Is it?
It is, man.
You gotta let the people side about that, Mike. You got Saturday over Shoulder Lean?
Oh yeah, I got Organized Noise got down on that. Sleepy Brown on the hook.
It's not better than Shoulder Lean. It's not.
Oh, come on, man.
Let the people decide.
What do y'all think in the chat? We got Shoulder Lean or we got Saturday by Ludacris. What's that?
Where are we at 2 songs in, Mike? Where are we at realistically? 2 songs in. Where are we?
Well, it's 2-0. Everybody's saying Saturday on this one.
They are? Okay, I'm going to give it to them. That's fine. It's 2-1.
You know what? Somebody said something that I addressed earlier. They said they don't see Runaway Love. I couldn't put Runaway Love up against T.I. I couldn't put Runaway Love up against T.I. I couldn't put What's Your Fantasy up against T.I. I couldn't. Now, if I was going up against Nelly or something.
You didn't even put What's Your Fantasy up, Mike. You didn't put What's Your Fantasy up?
I couldn't.
That's a problem, Mike.
What does that beat? What does that beat? All right, Roll Out versus Be Easy.
Ooh, that's actually close for me. That would be the closest thing to a draw that I've seen so far. Be Easy and Roll Out. That's about a draw.
I'm going Roll Out, man. Roll Out's the bigger record. I love Be Easy though. I'm trying to take my local lens off and look at this as in its totality.
No, that's why I'm saying draw, because like Be Easy is probably more popular locally. Roll Out more popular nationally.
Roll Out is way more popular. Like
so?
Be Easy wasn't even a big record on that album.
We'll go Roll Out. That's cool.
Okay, 2-2. Everybody in the chat saying Roll Out. Roll Out dominated 2001. Roll Out, Roll Out, Roll Out. All right, Made You Look remix versus ASAP.
I mean, you know how I feel about that verse from Luda. You know how I feel about that record.
That's Made You Look.
I might go with Made You Look on that. As much as I love ASAP. 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 AS. Like, Mike, that whole caricature of, like, his voice, that actually started with ASAP. When people started like mocking his voice, that's where it started. ASAP. Nigga try to play me, I'm a blow.
Oh, ASAP's dope. I know a lot of rappers don't like me. Bet they won't fight me. Fans say I swear, boy, then why they won't indict. Yeah, I love that, but it ain't Made You Look.
It's not. And it's not Luda's verse on there. We got more shit out on the street than evicted tenants. Yeah, I remember that.
Diamond in the Back or Fancy? That's Diamond in the Back.
That's Fancy. No, it's not.
No. I'm not giving you that one, Coop.
No,
Diamond
Mike,
in the Back
I'm not
is
even
hard.
a Drake fan. I'm a Pusha T guy, and I'm telling you that.
No.
No.
I want to go to the people on this one.
Yeah, we are, because Diamond in the Back's not better than Fancy.
No. Which one y'all got? Ludacris, Diamond in the Back, or T.I. Fancy?
Mike, aren't you a breath of fresh air for all these superficial gold digging bitches in here?
I
They
feel
think
you,
the ball
man.
of man, that's some of Tip best shit. Stop that.
Nah. That is DJ Paul and Juicy J on the beat, Diamond in the back. Nah, that shit was crazy.
That's cool, but it's not better than Fancy, Mike. I'm telling you. Fancy's a
M.
moment.
Lynn says Diamond. JC88 Diamond easy. I see Fancy Diamond in the back.
I think they're just hating on Drake. That Fancy shit is hard. Fancy is one of Drake's best songs.
This is looking back and forth. Fancy, Diamond, crazy, but Diamond might have this. Diamond in the back's winning. Luda, yeah.
Diamond in the back's winning over Fancy. Okay, no, that's fine. I'll take it.
Okay, Stick 'Em Up, featuring UGK. Let's Get Away. Let's Get Away.
That's Let's Get Away.
Let's Get Away is a very, very nice song.
It is. That was one of those things that showed his songwriting skills.
Mm-hmm. Early,
yeah.
And I love Stick 'Em Up. Move, bitch. A Motivation. That's Move.
That's Move. So where are we at? It
is 5-3.
Luda?
Yep.
Yeah, it's about to get bad for you though.
Stand Up, Top Back. Oh,
that's top.
I don't know.
That's top back. I like my beat down low.
I want to know what the people have to say because honestly, I mean, Stand Up, it's not one of my personal favorites, but people love Stand Up.
Just like that. Hell yeah. Hey, DJ, bring that back. You can go either way.
Okay. What do the people have to say? I want to see what the people have to say.
Me too. That could be a draw too.
Actually, you know what? No, it wasn't even that. I skipped one. It's B.I.B.A. remix.
Oh, well,
no, that's B.I.B.A.
That's Top Back.
No.
Yeah.
I know you're gonna say this is the Chevrolet thing.
Mike, it literally got him an endorsement contract with Chevrolet.
I knew this was coming.
He made a song. Southern rapper made a song that got him an endorsement contract with Chevrolet. And you're talking about B.I.B.A.
Now pour out the hen and coke and fire up that dro. It's Ludacris from Old National and Godby Road. The block is so clear. Then I shock the globe. I think that's one of his best features, personally.
Yeah, it's just not Top Back.
Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. Everybody's saying Stand Up and stuff. No, I meant B.I.B.I. versus Top Back. I think people are still picking Top Back.
Yeah, because it's better.
Top Back easy over B.I.B.I. Top Back if it's against B.I.B.I. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So if it's Top Back against B.I.B.I.,
I hate that because B.I.B.I. was hard. Okay, so now we got Stand Up versus Never Scared. I wanted
you got to lose.
I wanted B.I.B.I. to line up with Never Scared. That's what I wanted. I really wanted B.I.B.I. to line up with Never Scared because his verse on B.I.B.I. is better than Tip's verse on Never Scared. And that's just real.
It is. So this is funny. So I want people to understand how real this is that we do this. Me and Mike don't show each other our list. But B.I.B.A. versus Never Scared was the pair up that you should have wanted.
That's what I wanted. That's what I really wanted.
Never Scared, right. You were just
because when I glanced at yours, when I was, putting it over, I was like, well, I hope these two line up because it looked like it was close.
Yeah, it was close. No. But you're right because I like his verse on B.I.B.I. more than Tip's verse on Never Scared. And if they were lined up, I would give it to you, Mike. But now you got Never Scared versus Stand Up.
Somebody said no breathe in, breathe out. He didn't even have a verse on there. No.
Did he have a verse? Did he rap?
No, he didn't. He just had a hook.
Breathe in.
Hey, you know what? I did think about on the Sierra. I did, but I was like, man, I'm going to stay away from the R&B shit. I have to.
Mike, you missed the What's Your Fantasy in the O. You did. You needed to put that down. For some of the stuff that I see on here, you should have put that like Stick 'Em Up. Like O should have been there instead of Stick 'Em Up.
I understand that I'm going against T.I., man.
Oh, no, Mike. You were going to lose. You're about to start losing, from here on out after this. Keep going. No,
I didn't put O up there, man. Southern Styles Get Wild. Old School's coming down in a different color. Whip. Picture perfect. You might want to take a flick. All right, so people got Never Scared.
Yeah.
People got Never Scared. All right, now we got...
Yeah, that was the shit, Mike. You should have played that. Oh, my God. That was fire.
Drunk as Fuck. With Praying for Help. Everybody with me drunk as fuck. Roll it down and switch it up. I'm rolling with that. I never was a big fan of Praying for Help, but Praying for Help is probably a better song.
Praying for Help is a much better song. This is juxtaposition between like big club banger, like great quality album song. Because I think Praying for Help is one of those things that established himself as kind of like a more diversified artist than the typical Southern rap artist. That's why I put it on here. This was kind of that song where he kind of showed himself to be a little bit more in depth than your typical Atlanta MC.
P Poppin' and About the Money. I think I'm going with P Poppin' on that.
That's About the Money, Mike. Come on, stop that. Turn it.
I want to ask the people.
Yeah, let's ask the people. Hold on, what happened? Praying for Help in
That was Drunk as Fuck and Praying for Help won that. So it's 6-5. T.I.
Okay. About the Money and P Poppin', we could maybe draw that, Mike, but I was never big on P Poppin'. I love About the Money.
I like it because I like it. I like it. What do y'all got? P Poppin' or About the Money? And people are killing me in here because I didn't do Georgia. I was gonna do Georgia.
You didn't do Georgia.
I was gonna do Area Codes.
Mike, we got to do this over. You were fucking up, Mike.
Luda got so many records, man. And the thing is, I'm trying to match up, the best matchups because I don't think that his performance on Georgia is the standout.
It's not.
People are saying P Poppin', and it's unanimous, actually.
Really? Okay. Yeah. No. We'll take that.
Okay. 6-6.
6-6.
We got Blow It Out and My Love. That's Blow It Out. If you're mad I'm on top, then wish me gone.
No, that's cool.
Gossip Folks, Missy. Why You Wanna?
Why You Wanna's better.
Huh. I don't know.
Don't tell a nigga no with an ass so fat. Now why you wanna go and do that? Think about it. A guy named Tip taking the Q-tip, and why you want to... Come on, Mike, stop that. And it was a summer banger, too, Mike. That shit played all summer. You know it. It was... Mike, I was in Cali, and it was playing in the summer in Cali. I can't imagine what it was like in the A. You better stop.
I see Blow It Out, Blow It Out, Blow It Out, Blow It Out, Blow It Out easy, Blow It Out. No Fatty Girl, I thought about it.
Thought about Fatty Girl, too. Blow It Out over Why You Wanna?
Okay, Gossip Folks. Folks. Why You Wanna easy. Why You Wanna? Why You Wanna? Gossip. Why You Wanna?
Why You Wanna's winning that one, yeah.
Yeah, Why You Wanna? Gossip Folks. Why You Wanna? It's back and forth, but I think Why You Wanna got that.
You sure? Or we need to draw it?
Gossip Folks is better. Why You Wanna? It looks like Why You Wanna's getting more.
Okay.
The Jamie Foxx Unpredictable. You don't know me. That's You Don't Know Me.
You Don't Know Me. That's a nice little sneaky choice. That would have won if you would have played that differently. Like, if that would have felt differently, you had more of a shot.
Yeah. Glamorous, the Fergie joint. And Rubber Band Man. I messed up with that one.
Rubber Band.
Yeah. I should have went Area Codes, but I still would have lost.
You didn't play Area Codes either, Mike?
No.
Mike, people about to be mad at you.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, so you didn't play Area Codes?
What's Your Fantasy? Yeah, we're going to have to do no Area Codes, no What's Your Fantasy, because I just didn't think it played well against Tip.
It didn't, but you still had to take your shots. You didn't play My Chick?
No O, Not My Chick.
What else?
Okay.
Oh, Mike, and you played... Oh, yeah, Mike, some of the stuff that you played over this, it's like, yeah, people about to roast you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever you like, Trina, Be Alright. I think that Be Alright's better than that.
I think Be Alright is better than that, but Whatever You Like is about to blow that out the water, even though I personally think Be Alright is better. Like, if you let the people decide, Whatever You Like is about to win that.
People say we already mad, Mike D. Yeah. Believe me, I had all these songs y'all are talking about on the board. The only reason why I didn't... It's hard to really gauge.
How about this, Mike? Area Codes and O and What's Your Fantasy you had to play because you've already played... You played Southern Fried Intro.
Yeah, Mike Brown said, man, he put the Fergie feature over. Oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, that was that. Glamorous. How about this? Unpredictable and glamorous over O and area codes is a problem.
Yeah, and I should have just said fuck it and did What's Your Fantasy, even though I don't feel like What's Your Fantasy is gonna beat Tip Records.
I don't. Feel
I grew up a screw up. I thought about that too.
I don't love that record because I'm gonna tell you what my rationale was. My rationale was like, oh, I'm about to play some famous Tip records that have rode.
I should have just went for the hits, but see, my rationale was, you got the street records, so I'm gonna try to get some hard verses out of it.
I didn't play for the street records.
I thought about This Bitch That Hoe. I thought about Splash Waterfalls. I didn't think This Bitch That Hoe was that notable for the mass public, even though I think that his versatility on there was incredible. Splash Waterfalls, I didn't think Splash Waterfalls aged well. I didn't think that Runaway Love did either. Honestly, when I start thinking about area codes, it was like, I don't know. Moneymaker I had on the list too. I ended up taking that off. That actually didn't make the cut. I had that on there when it was like 25.
You were right to leave Moneymaker off. You're right to leave Moneymaker and Runaway Love off. Area codes, What's Your Fantasy, and My Chick Bag. Those are your missteps. And here's the thing.
I still think T.I. Records would beat that though.
No, and I missed some Tip records too. I want you to understand, like I don't know if you noticed, Live Your Life with Rihanna's not on here. Swing Your Rags not on here. Swagger Like Us is not on here.
I wasn't a big fan of any of those records that you're talking about.
Me neither. That's why I went for the notoriety. Because y'all been talking like Luda's bigger than Tip outside of Atlanta. And I'm like, not with these records. That's the dude that was on My Love with Justin Timberlake.
And Blurred Lines. Okay.
And Mike, I left Blurred Lines off and Soldier off. Think about this, Mike. I left a Rihanna record, a Destiny's Child record, and a Robin Thicke record off my T.I. list. This dude been everywhere making hits.
I even put the Cameron What Mean the World to Me remix on there.
Yeah, I seen that.
And I had that. That goes against Ain't I.
Ain't I is better.
Is it?
Ain't I? Ooh, Mike. Ain't I's that banger, Mike.
I like Ain't I, but What Mean the World to Me was a banger.
Like, how about this, Mike? If you want to talk about a nigga being local and it being bigger local than it is nationally, then you can knock me that for Ain't I. But you know what Ain't I is down here, Mike? Ain't I played Just the Way, Shoulder Lean, and About the Money, and a lot of these
I don't even think that T.I. had the best verse on the Ain't I remix. I think that was Dro. And even when Luda came on that What Mean the World to Me with Bun B, Pimp C, and Trina, he's like,
hold on. Ralph Labor, Purple Label, ain't as fresh as I could. No. Tip got the best verse on Ain't I, Mike.
No.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he
Make
does.
You Do the Macarena? No. Dro got the best verse on that song.
Talking about his court cases on Ain't I and swagging on. Made it through my situation. Ain't as fresh as I can
nice
be.
Verse.
That paper trail out of here. Yeah. No, Mike.
It was a nice verse, but Dro stole the show. But Luda came on that What Mean the World. Was like, let me tell you what I mean the world. Ludacris and a couple of girls. They found a brother running up on the girls. They get a drunk chucking leg in the girls. The nigga straight stuck in the girls. They get late thinking up with the girls. Skeet on. Come on, man. They're two different. It's crazy.
No, you can have that, but that Tip verse is pretty fire. But Dro be showing out. Dro's underrated.
Yo, Dro did his thing, man. Okay. Gucci Mane, Freaky Girl remix, Live in the Sky.
Let's Live in the Sky.
That's Live in the Sky. And I think you're a song short.
No.
Either that or I skipped something. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
No, you got 21, Mike.
All right, well, I'm taking Blueberry Yum Yum off, and I'm going Southern Hospitality.
Obviously. But you still lost.
Y'all think What You Know is better than Southern Hospitality?
What You Know versus Southern Hospitality, I think that is a fair fight. You know how I feel about What You Know.
I feel like I need a redo, man, because I made some bad decisions. But see, it's very hard to gauge Luda's catalog because none of this stuff to me is like you definitely need to do this. And I think that the O verse on the Sierra shit is hard. Go ahead.
I gotta go let my mom inside. Hold on.
No, go ahead. Do your thing. Yeah, I think I lost that. What song? What Ludacris song do y'all think I should have played against T.I.? I'm So Hood verse on Luda. I thought about that too. A redo for sure. But no, give me y'all list. I want to know a redo on Friday. You know what? I'm gonna come with a better list on Friday, and I'm gonna ask Coop to shake up his list a little bit. And some of these songs that y'all were talking about that I should have picked, I'm going to go ahead and pick some of those. I think we did skip motivation or something. Something happened. Yeah, Coop skipped motivation. Okay. We're going to do a redo of this really quick on our Friday show, and I'm going to come together with a better list, and I'm going to put Splash Waterfalls on there. I'll put Runaway Love on there. I'll put some of the ones that y'all were talking about. Should Act the Fool make the 20? The Yeah verse. I didn't like the Yeah verse. I didn't like Yeah at all. I mean, he played that in his verses with Nelly. Do y'all think Act the Fool should make it? Wasn't a big fan of it. I don't know. Number one spot, I had that on there. That didn't make the cut. See, what I'm recognizing with these Ludacris records, man, it's really tough to gauge what actually sounds good right now. Because to be perfectly honest, and maybe my ears is all messed up or whatever, but a lot of that stuff just didn't age well, and I had area codes down here, and I was like, I start rapping the song, like it was just 404. You thought it was just 770 and 404 on Worldwide, bitch. Act like you ain't know. It's the Abominable Hoe Man. And when I got to the Abominable Hoe Man, I was like, let me take this song off.
No, I get it. I think some people are in love with the nostalgic side of things.
Yeah.
And I think Ludacris is actually one of those rappers, and this is kind of proving this to us. I think he takes people to a time and to a place.
Yeah. I think Luda's catalog is extremely nostalgic. And I kind of realized that when I was going down the line of it. And I just think that, I don't know, man. I think that T.I.'s stuff is easier to know what is going to play well right now.
Well, a lot of this stuff is just easy. So just rap-wise for me, T.I. stuff is just held up better because it's more rap-related. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily for the purpose, like their hit singles. The hit singles are not necessarily just serving the purpose of being hit singles. They fit within the framework of an album very well. Like, I love the singles on trap music, and I always have, because it's very rare that an album of that quality has 4 singles off of it that fit into the framework of the album so well. Because if you got 4 singles, they're all probably different parts of you and pieces of you. And for him to be able to pull something like that off, like 24s, Rubber Band Man, Be Easy, Let's Get Away, but it all fit into the album. It's like, those are the things for me as an MC that Tip did that I never saw Luda really do with his singles. It's like his singles were just on his album. They never fit into the framework of his album and made it go.
Can we do this? Because, me and the people agreed. Friday, I want a quick redo, right? Shake up your list a little bit. I'm going to look at some of the input that the people are giving, and I'm going to come with a whole nother 20. And we'll do this again real quick, because I did butcher this list when I'm looking at some of this stuff.
I think you might have did Luda a little bit of a disservice, and about
it's a lot of pressure.
I'm willing to kind of rework some of this list, but I'm going to tote some of these records back out, because some of these records are like, you know what I'm saying?
No. Put some of them back. No. Come with your best list, period. Because now I got the input of the people, so I'm going to see what this really looks like. But let me ask y'all out there, do y'all see how strong T.I.'s catalog is?
Hold on.
And do you think some of the songs that you felt like were left off would beat some of those songs?
I was about to say, Mike, because you do understand, it's like, well, I didn't play Blurred Lines. I didn't play Soldier. I didn't play What's Up, What's Happening, Mike.
Yep, somebody just mentioned What's Up, What's Happening in the chat. I see Jordan House said Fat Rabbit. I mean, it's nostalgic, Mike. Man. Like, I remember where I was at when Fat Rabbit dropped, man. We were proud of Luda. But Mike, I don't know how well that plays against Tip.
Mike, I didn't play Dope Boy Fresh. I didn't play Live Your Life for Rihanna.
You didn't play Dope Boys in the Trap either.
No, I didn't.
No. Big
I got all the
records.
stuff out there. That's what I'm saying. It's like, no, we can do this again. It's like, because here's the thing too. The people kind of let me know the tip stuff that they don't like, and I'm gonna tell you what I see. Oh, people don't like Urban Legend T.I. based on what y'all just showed me. Y'all don't
That's
like
interesting.
Yeah, because most of these records that they said no to is around that Urban Legend King time.
Before we get out of here, man, I want to play something I saw in a post that was sent to me. It was Talib on Ebro's show talking about Black Star album and why it hasn't been released yet.
Hey, do we have to give Talib airtime? I was just curious.
Yeah. You know, it's Black Star. So let me play this clip real quick because I got a lot of questions.
Please feel free.
So, very hard at work to try to find the right
can you hear that?
To release the Black Star album.
I've already heard it.
No, but I'm saying, can you hear it just so I know if people can hear it?
He's not interested in sort of the rigmarole.
Let me go back.
Yeah, play it for me right
quick. Work to try to find the right situation to release the Black Star album. Is produced entirely by Madlib. Yasin Bey, he's not interested in the music industry. He's not interested in sort of the rigmarole of how America tears up as artists. The problem with distribution, how racist and how slave-based the system of distribution been in the music business. And we just don't want to participate in that as a group. Spotify, the DSPs is where everybody gets their music. But largely those contracts that these DSPs have with the artists are unfair. We're talking about percentage, fractions of a penny. And for most of them, they don't even share with you their accounting and their booking. I agree with my brother Yasin when he says that it's not fair. Now, as a group, Black Star, it doesn't look like we are going to be placing our music on the DSPs. So we are now exploring ways in which we can get our music to the fans and not have to prostitute ourselves in order to do that. But Yasin has never been someone who does it the easy way. Because the point that he's always made is that hip-hop is a revolutionary music. Hip-hop is a music that's not disruptive. Why are we accepting the rules that they set up for us? But I will say this. It's looking like it's going to be a Black Star song. I've been very hard.
That was a lot. So it sounded like they got the album, the Black Star album, Talib and Mos Def and Madlib together. Sounds like it's done, but they're having discrepancies on how to put it out or what way they want to put it out. Sounds like they don't want to put it out in a traditional way, or at least the way of the streaming outlets. But he ended it by saying, looks like it's going to be a Black Star summer. Listen, based on their resume of not coming out with an album in, one album in 24 years?
So one hot album every 25-year average.
One album in 24 years, and doesn't sound like they want to put it out in the way that people consume music now, but it's going to be a Black Star summer. I don't see this coming out. Because, all right, this is what I got. This is the part that confused me. I think that the following that Talib and Mos have is so loyal. And even if they started and I'm sure they've already done this, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm the smartest person in the room. But if they just started a website or a social media handle that took people to that website, I truly believe that their fans would go to that website, order the music straight from them, whether it be physical or just in MP3 form, and they would have cut out all of this stuff that he's talking. I don't understand what the issue is. It sounds like Talib is looking for a label to carry this. But I don't understand. And again, you don't have to send your music to streaming outlets. And honestly, we talking about a group who ain't put out an album in 24 years. Your audience is used to CDs. You know what I'm saying? Like, your audience knows what CDs are. So Mike, what's the problem?
Can we unpack a couple things? So let's get a couple things clear. Like, first of all, the Black Star album was never all that to begin with. It's not some sort of all-time great hip-hop classic. Respectively, if you were to put rap into subcategories and you were to fit them in a genre of music, let's say with The Roots, A Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, Jungle Brothers, their solo material, Common. If you were to put all of that together, Mike, the Black Star album would probably be like the 15th or 16th best album that came out of those reflective camps. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, let's start calling their only album that they did together what it is. It's a good album. It's not a great album. It's not an all-time great album. It's not a hip-hop classic.
Respectfully, Black on Both Sides and Train of Thought are both better.
Mike, it's not even a question that those albums are superior, truthfully, when you listen to them. But even in relationships to classic material, and that's why I bring in the whole spectrum of it, because it appears like their legend seems to be growing and unnecessarily because the album wasn't that dope. Mike, let's not get it twisted. That album's not better than People's Instinctive. It's not better than The Low End Theory. It's not better than Midnight Marauders. It's not better than Illadelph Half-Life. If it's not better than When Things Fall Apart. It's not better than the Jungle Brothers' first album. It's not better than any of De La's projects, in my estimation, Mike. Any of them. I'll take every De La project over the Black Star project, including
people are killing you in here talking about the Black Star project.
It's not like that. It's not.
And some people are saying, yeah, it wasn't that great. And I think what people do have to understand is it was rated in the source. Not to say that the source is God, but at the time it was, right? It was rated in the source at the same time that Outkast put out Akumenai. Outkast is Akumenai got 5 mics. The Black Star album got 3.5.
No, that's accurate. Okay, that's accurate relationship. Accurate relationship. That's what a flawless album from a duo sounds like. That's what a good album from a duo sounds like.
Yeah.
Appropriate relationship. And so let's start rating it appropriately.
I think Brown Skin Lady, Definition, Redefinition.
And Respiration.
Respiration. Thieves in the Night, or I'm sorry, I'm sitting here thinking about Thieves in the Temple. Thief in the Night. And yeah, it gets kind of murky after that. And look, I think that we all have kind of been sucked into that whole notion of, wow, Talib and Most together for a whole album? That's crazy.
It ain't like that. It was never like that. That's what I'm saying. It happened one time. Like, that was 97. That was 98, right?
It was 98, yep.
People were more concerned about Tribe breaking up and the fact that Outkast had dropped Aquemini. That's real. That's real. Like,
Volume 2 was being rated in that.
I'm trying to speak in terms of group.
Right,
you know
I got you.
But I'm saying in terms of groups, in terms of contemporary artists that may have made comparable style music, or who you would have been replacing on the totem pole, where you have your late 80s, early 90s premier rap group, you have your mid to late 90s premier rap group. They both dropped projects the same year. Like, the Love Movement got more pub than Black Star's album, even though I don't think it's better. So, like, we just need to, taper it down. Mike, you want to know what? How about this? Black Star's album is closer to Beats, Rhymes, and Life than it is Midnight Marauders or The Low End Theory, and that's what people need to understand about the Black Star album.
This is what I will say about putting out music, and and you can't even say it's generational anymore. We just saw Nas put out 3 quality albums over a 2-year period. 2 highly regarded albums in 1 year. That narrative, if it takes me 10 years to put out an album, people ain't fucking with that anymore. Where's the music? You know what I'm saying? And I get the whole notion of you don't want to play by the industry's rules and this and that. I think now you have more options than you ever did.
And it's crazy that he's saying that. Like, he's saying it. Like,
he's saying that like there's only one way to put out music. There was only one way to put out music back when y'all did it the first time.
No, he's literally saying it like I Am and Volume 3 are being bootlegged again. And it's like, fam, you understand that you can set up your own webpage and get connected to your own streaming services through that and eat that way. Prince been doing it since the Crystal Ball album.
Exactly. And again, this ain't no new knowledge. You know, I'm not going to sit here and even talk like I got more industry insight than somebody like Talib, who's been in the game forever. And Mos Def as well. To me, I'm just going to keep it real. And I love these guys, and I'm fans of these guys. It sounds like excuses.
Right. I'm about to say, stop making it seem like, hold on. Stop making it seem like you're crusaders because you haven't made classic shit in a couple decades.
And again,
that's what's really going on.
Like, you know what it really sounds like to me? It sounds like Mos Def is not happy with how this stuff is coming out. And, Madlib probably as well. And they send Talib to go out here and make excuses for it, unfortunately.
No, I mean, but people want to put this cape on and act like it was something that it wasn't. It's like, fam, between the two of y'all, there's like a classic and a half to be had, and it's not the Black Star album. It's like most of us consider Black on Both Sides to be a classic, and half of us consider the Train of Thought to be a classic. Y'all got a classic and a half between the two of y'all, and it's not the Black Star album. So miss me with the bullshit. Take your ass to work.
Unless there's some factors here that
Mike, especially for a dude that got time to pull up on our Instagram page and make comments and stuff, but then when we reach out and say peace, he act like he too good to comment. Like, I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of the sucker shit from sucker ass niggas. I don't care if you rap or who knows you.
Well, this is the thing.
He a clown.
Oh man.
Right. No, because he can pull up on Instagram and talk on our page and argue with fans, but he can't speak to us because he really don't want no smoke with me. And so, like, I don't want to hear what he has to say. Go rap and go rap well. You've been part of a half of a rap classic in your, like, 25-year rap career, but you walk around here and talk like you're some sort of legend and some sort of god. Like, you're not Rakim, fam. You're not Nas. You're not Jay. Go make the album and shut the hell up.
I think that the thing is, man, like, artists have more freedom now than they ever have. And there's a lot of options and a lot of ways to reach your fans that you didn't have before. And he also has his own outlets through podcasts and, you know, he even has access to Hot 97, even though I don't even think they would need any of those things. Obviously, most stuff has his following. Now, is there something out here that we're not privy to as far as like Black Star being under some sort of contract and being owned by somebody? Because if you and I, who we don't have any record deals, you don't have a record deal, I know I don't. If we say, you know what, we're going to put together an album, we don't want to put it on the streaming platforms, we could easily just go out there and develop our own site and have whoever wants to buy it, get it from there. What's the problem?
Mike, haven't we specifically talked about doing that with your old music and my old music just for the fans on this page?
Yeah.
Just like What Up shit?
Just on some cool shit. Right. So I don't see the issue.
Right.
Listen, if the Black Star stuff's not coming together well, just tell us that. Don't sit here and act like, you know, you're a victim of the system and this. Or if you're in a record deal that won't let you put music out on your own, say that. But don't sit here and act like the way that music is being distributed now is slave driving. And if you feel that way, it's fine, but there are options. Honestly, I feel like the slave driving way was the only way to actually put out a record was to get major distribution from people who made the actual physical CDs and who actually printed on high demand on a massive level. If you're a, up and coming MC, you can't compete with that. You can't compete with the shelf space of somebody who's getting at the front of the store. You worked at a record store, you know how it is.
Oh, look.
So yeah, that's slave driving.
I'm gonna tell you some of the funniest stuff that I've seen. I remember I was at the record store the summer EI and Country Grammar came out. And Nelly dropped Country Grammar. Oh, it's like I can remember my boss telling me, he's like, no. He's like, who's that guy? He's like, you know that guy. I don't know that guy. Move that guy over and give Nelly another lane. Give him another row. Like you know what I'm saying? That's my boss told me just like that. He's like, you know that guy, or I don't know that guy. Give Nelly because we're gonna sell 115 copies of Country Grammar in this store alone this week.
That's real. George Williams says, why not put it on Bandcamp? Yeah, I mean, outlets like that, or even if they wanted to just do it on their own website and they don't want to cut Bandcamp in, they got that option too. You have millions of fans. You do shows.
Look, and you
know what? Us on According to Hip Hop, we were promoted because it's Black Star. It is what it is.
Mike, and this is what I mean. Oh, when people really want you, they'll find you, Mike. You know this. One of my favorite rap records last year was Tunchi with Love the Genius and Armani Caesar.
Yeah.
They took that shit off the album almost as soon as they dropped it, Mike, because they knew what they had on their hands. Mike, yep. I know one site in America right now where I can go listen to Tunchi with Love the Genius featuring Armani Caesar, and I found it. Because that's how I feel about the record. That's why I'm saying it's like, I don't want to hear what you're saying. It's like I went hunting for about 2 weeks to find a Love the Genius Armani Caesar record. When people's looking for you, they going to find you.
No, that's real. But yeah, again, man, I hope that it's going to be a Black Star summer. I would love to hear a new Black Star album, but I just don't. At this point, I just don't like all the excuses.
It's like Mike, you're excited to hear it, but why? That's what I keep saying. It's like
Because I mean, first of all, you know what I'm saying, I think Mos Def and Talib together, they have a very good body of work together, even if they only have one album together. Whenever they got together on features with each other, it worked.
Correct.
And Mos Def is, you know how I feel about Mos Def, and we've talked about that in length on this show.
Right.
I would like to hear what he is as an MC. I think he's an incredible creative, not as just an MC, but just a creative, period. So,
I'm just not as excited as you because it's like they haven't created enough classic material over the course of their careers for me to be excited. It's like how about this?
it's like
this
the Kendrick thing.
No, this is exactly how I feel. I'm more excited about Jay. Jay's giving me more of a reason to be excited than these guys. That's real, Mike. That's what I'm talking about. It's like don't ever miss and that's what I'm saying. Oh, people think that I hate on Jay. Listen to what I'm saying. I am checking for Jay shit long before I'm checking for some Black Star shit. They made one album and it was a good album. It was not great.
Yeah.
It was not a hip hop classic. Mos Def made Black on Both Sides. Mike, we talking about my high school teenage years. It's like ain't nobody checking for y'all like that.
No, I agree, and I think that and I say this respectfully, artists can't get beside themselves and feel like people are waiting for a 10, 14 track album 10, 20, even 30 years later. Like, we've just seen Nas crank out 2 quality albums in 1 year. It don't take that long to put together nothing dope. And so if it's taking this long, sounds like the shit's not good. It
Right.
just is what it is. I feel the same way about Kendrick. I think Kendrick shit ain't coming out because it ain't good. If you ain't put out no album during that whole Super Bowl push, it's probably not good.
No, real talk. In the last 2 years, we just watched Nas put about 40 records on wax between about 3 albums. Mike, about 30 of those records are like stellar. Like Mike, Nas has had a better career in the past year and a half than those two dudes combined.
Oh my God. I think
Mike,
most steps have
listen to what I'm
incredible.
saying. Hold on, listen to what I'm saying. You can put Black Star, Train of Thought, and Black on Both Sides up against these last 3 albums, and that would be the seminal work. That's what I'm saying. Nas has done y'all seminals work together and collectively in a 2-year period. Who do you think you are?
I think
Understand
again,
where
man,
you are in the game.
no,
No, understand when you're going up here talking about, look this, that. Like, nigga, then sell it out the trunk. Oh, you can't sell it out the trunk anymore, so I suggest you learn how to play this game.
the Black Line says checking for clips way before Black Star, personally.
Well, that's because Pusha been outside.
Yeah. And you know what? And I think if Lil Brother got together, but see, it's the reliability of it all, too. Because I remember Mos Def got on stage and said there was going to be a Black Star album with, Mad Lib producing the whole thing. I feel like that might have been like 6 years ago. It doesn't take that long.
Hold on, Mike. Was that around the same time that Mos Def told us we were getting the Mos Def Black Thought album?
So, who knows?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, great MCs, great guys. Go look at the catalog. It's like, stop thinking we checking for you like that. We know who Mos is. Like, but when did Black on Both Sides come out, Mike? It was 23 years ago.
Black on Both Sides was, that was what? That was 99, right?
Yeah, it's coming up on its 23rd anniversary.
Yeah,
that's your seminal piece of work. You have it rapped regularly since that time.
Well, let's get up out of here, man.
Ooh, Mad Lib's doing the album. Me and Mos are back together. That's great. It's like, it's 2022, fam. It's like, look, you got Nas on a record. You got Cole on a record. You got Conway on a record.
I mean, listen, man. A lot of the emerging hip hop artists that are out today weren't even born when that album came out.
Mike, that's what I'm saying. Who checking for y'all? Like Thought gonna check for y'all because he used to rap with y'all, but Thought shit getting, like Roy said, Thought shit busy getting put in the Smithsonian right now while y'all is busy trying to put together y'all second album.
That's like when I graduated high school, somebody telling me about a group that ain't dropped the album since 1979. I'd be like, okay.
like imagine this. Hold on. I think, what was that? Wasn't like Janet and Madonna still releasing albums when we was in high school, like All for One and music? Yeah. Imagine if they were just coming back around right now. You'd be like, hey, I haven't listened to Janet since like All for One. It's like 98. Like, what we doing?
All for You was fire and shit. Madonna had a hit album, Confessions on the Dance Floor, in 2005. Killing. Great record.
Confessions of the Dance Floor is 2005, Mike.
It's a classic.
Madonna out here. Madonna outside 20 years after her.
Right. After Like a Virgin.
Mike,
All right,
20
man.
years after Borderline, she outside.
Yeah, man. It's incredible. All right, man. Let's get up out of here, man. Hopefully we're gonna get that Pusha T on Friday. I'm gonna get a redo with this ludicrous thing, man, and make sure you have your list ready. Any closing stuff before we get up out of here?
I want people to understand that it's like I be talking about these dudes because we get chided in our community a lot for not working, but y'all be giving these dudes hall passes for not going to work. These niggas ain't made no album in like 24 years. It's like, nigga, go to work. Shut up.
I mean, and you got access right to the fans now. You don't have to go through this long distribution process or anything.
It's been 24 years. Shut your ass up and go to work.